Wow. Wow. Okay.
Go live on that noise? Is that what we went live on?
I don't think so. Well, we'll find out when I watch the video later. Hello, everybody. God damn it, you guys. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Main Chat Nerd Night, where we get together, we play some Dungeons & Dragons. I had a whole thing I was going to do, but I've just completely forgotten it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Wait, what was that?
What on earth was that noise, anyway?
Yeah, that was a weird... I'm unsettled.
Sort of a weird coffee thing. I just knew it would throw people off, so
Anyway.
you know, I went with it.
Anyway, so, moving on. Just to do a pretty brief recap, our group has traveled about halfway across the world at this point. There's a bunch of shenanigans back in the country they came from, led them to discovering an artifact of some kind of apparently immense destructive power. They were sent to go find an individual by the name of Qualish, who unfortunately was very far away. They went and found his relative, who then said that Qualish had been lost on an expedition to the Barrier Peaks. The party looked at a map, and the Barrier Peaks were halfway around the world. So, they got a boat shenanigans ensued, then they got their own boat.
We learned how to boat.
They learned how to boat. And upon arriving at the opposite shore on the other side of the Azure Sea, they made their way northward through Jeff, Jaoff, and a number of other kingdoms relatively uneventfully, and eventually made their way into the Valley of the Mage. In the Valley of the Mage, they made their way to the northernmost settlement by the name of Moonhollow.
At one point, we were in a half-orc town.
Yes, at one point they were in an orcish settlement.
Wait, oh yeah, that's right. Just before we crossed the big ocean.
The group arrived at Moonhollow and discovered that it was, in fact, a settlement of drow, of dark elves. None of them spoke common, so the group had to fall back on the ones that spoke Elvish. And not all of them not all the drow speak Elvish, so they had to find somebody who they could communicate with. The group is a little bit. The group is a little bit split up right now. Tyorrgeth, I believe, is actually outside of the town at a camp with Cavelli, the stable hand that they had hired all the way back in Sundi on the other side of the world. Dásos made her way to what appeared to be like a bookstore, a library of sorts. Attempted to do some research. She couldn't, unfortunately, read all of the books because a lot of them were in a language she didn't understand. Spoke to one of the people there by the name of Salaki and convinced her to go with Dásos back to the inn tavern type deal that they had been to before. The rest of the group was over at the inn and tavern and performed a little bit. Their newest member, Enten, wandered around the tavern and spoke and gathered some information for the group. So, at this point, I would say Dásos is just arriving at the tavern, and Salaki has more or less been sort of absent-mindedly following. She doesn't seem incredibly invested in what's going on right now. But you push open the door and you see, you've seen before Tyorrgeth and, why am I blanking? Kledash and Efferil, jeez. You've seen Kledash and Efferil do their paired performance, which I believe they got a good amount of money, good amount of gold from it the previous day, or this day. So you open up the door and you come into, I would say, toward the end of the performance. They're starting to wind down.
And she's like right behind me?
More or less, yeah, she's following you.
Alright.
And as she follows you in and kind of eyes Kledash and Efferil without comment.
What do you think?
They seem to have some very interesting skills.
Okay. So, I mean, does it entertain you?
I do not know. I've not had the chance to be entertained.
Okay, sit down. Pay attention. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen
She-
for you. It's
She
happened
kinda,
for a lot of people at this point.
she kinda gives you a look. The look of like, how dare you tell me what to do? But she does make her way over to the bartender, and they exchange a few words in a language you don't understand. They would be speaking. Yeah, they wouldn't be speaking Elvish to
Undercommon
each
last
other.
time.
Yeah, they'd be speaking Undercommon to each other.
Is this the? Sorry, I forget which language it is that they sometimes speak / know that's close enough to Elvish that I like recognize it but can't understand it.
Sylvan.
Isn't it like under?
Sylvan.
Oh, Sylvan.
Got it.
Yeah, Undercommon it's a strange language. It's like Dutch versus English, right? Like there are some words that you hear here and there. You're like, oh, I know that word, but then the rest of it's just gibberish. So, and she does end up taking a seat at one of the tables with there's another drow woman there.
Wait, so she just like walks away from me?
She comes back and sits at a table nearby to you, but she doesn't sit with your group. She sits with
She doesn't
another.
like sit next to me?
It's,
Alright, cool, I ditch her.
It's the nearest table.
I'm not interested anymore.
Okay.
Alright. What else? What other options are Efferil and Kledash are still performing, right?
Yeah, they're just about winding down. You have seen bits of this performance before, so they've probably got another 5 or 10 minutes in them.
Where's Enten?
At this moment, Enten is actually sitting at a table right next to them, and he has a little bit of like a coin with light cast on it that's providing illumination for the space, which is the only light in the room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's like
Because this
dark
space
elves.
is devoid of light.
Dark
It's
elves. Like,
dark
it's dark.
outside, just like this twilight-ish, even at the brightest that you've seen. So, you know, for the benefit of those that don't have dark vision, i.e. the two performing, Enten provided a little bit of illumination.
I go sit next to Enten.
Okay.
I mean,
Alright.
I'm
Hey,
probably
bud.
using my my stuff to make us be able to see, because I can do like light flashiness.
Oh yeah.
No.
Your performances have also been generating light. This is more like a constant, so that you can, you know, maintain an idea of where things are between your individual acts. So you don't have to spend your own energy doing it. And Enten turns to Dásos as she sits. She says, "Well, this is fascinating."
Yeah, it's
say the
pretty
least.
cool. What? No, go ahead. Sorry.
That's it.
Oh, okay. What's your motivation?
You gonna make me do this?
Just in a general sense, like what do you like to do? What makes you a compelling character?
Hold on, let me pull up the DM. Well, I've told you a lot about sort of what I'm trying to do. I've come from a place called Ravnica, you've probably never heard of, and I'd really rather try to get back there. I've been hearing a lot about this Qualish fellow, and he seems to.
What's your dad's name?
He puts his fingers to his chin, his beardless chin. Interesting for a dwarf. Kind of scratches it for a second. Says, I don't think you'd be able to pronounce it.
Are you saying that because you can't pronounce it?
Maybe.
All right. I think Enten, buddy. I think I can safely say I've made my point. And then I'm gonna settle in for the performance.
He cocks an eyebrow but continues without comment.
Good.
No, someone needs to comment on this.
All right. So as the performance winds down, there's a bit of polite applause. You've been getting individuals coming up here and there and providing tips. The atmosphere is a lot more subdued than other places you've been before. But they are appreciative of the performance. They don't seem particularly bothered by it. And most of the people were paying attention, so you've certainly made yourself known, for sure.
Wait, sorry. So now that we're jumping back to their time, though, it's already established what they were going to do after they finished, right?
Was it? Did you guys do that last time?
I mean, honestly, I was like thinking about what I was going to do in the town, so I wasn't super closely following what they were doing. But I'm pretty sure at the beginning, didn't Kledash and Efferil, you guys said that you were like already queued up for a long rest?
It's one of those things where I don't 100% remember, and it didn't quite make it into the notes. So
Yeah, I mean, why would you?
maybe.
I don't remember at all.
It's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
It's been literally a month,
For-
and in that time,
for the sake
a whole
of
bunch
this-
of crap has happened.
I mean, I know you guys have definitely talked to the bartender. Like, you cleared this with him, and you asked him if you'd be able to get a discount on the room, which he agreed to. Luckily for you, you were provided. After the performance, he comes over to you, and he provides you. He looks over the group and he says, "Is that everyone?"
Is it?
At the moment,
Tyorrgeth's in the camp.
and
Tyorrgeth and Cavalier are both in the
and
camp.
Cavalier are not here right now.
Yeah, that's everybody.
Very well.
I thought you were the one who was like super on board with your horse carer. What?
I love Cavalier. He's a good guy. Wait, how far outside of town are they? Because I'm not trying to like.
It's
like
like
a hike.
just outside town.
Like-
the camp is like within eyeshot of the entrance of Moonhollow.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then
It was more or less like
no,
you
we
left
got-
the horses there just for not having to worry about bringing your horses into town and worrying about where they were all the time. That was sort of
Alright.
why you made the camp there.
Okay, I get you. All right.
At least that's the reason you gave me.
we still have 2 companions outside the town.
The bartender looks over to Salaki and says in Elvish, "Are they making fun of us? I can't tell." Is she?
I would
and-
never.
And Salaki just kind of pinches the bridge of her nose a little bit and says and mutters something in Undercommon. And the bartender
I feel bad
chuckles.
for these two. I feel bad.
They switch languages too much. All right.
It's almost
Wait,
as if
I
they're
do forget.
bilingual.
Yeah. And this is also something. Actually, you know, I'm gonna dig up what I took some notes last. I can't imagine they're thorough enough for this, but I forget if we found somewhere to stable the horses, because like you said, original plan I think was to just keep them out of the camp. But if we can find somewhere to put them, then I guess we might as well.
I want to say you
What
didn't
did I write?
specifically go out of your way to do it, but
Yeah. What the last session was 8:24, right?
Yep.
Right. Down 2 rations.
Actually-
Horse food pickup. Salaki. The barrier peaks are unexplored and dangerous. Yeah, I didn't write down whether or not we got a stable. Although, okay, can we sidebar real quick, guys? Can we like take a table, talk real quick?
the bartender kind of gives you a nod and said, "You can take the time you need when I'll be ready for you with your rooms when you feel the need to turn in." Your biological clock is a little thrown off because of how dark it is, but you imagine it's probably getting close to it is certainly nighttime, but it's just a little weird with it being dark all the time here. So
I'd appreciate if you said circadian rhythm instead of biological clock, 'cause that makes me think of pregnancy.
why does okay?
Just like
Okay.
saying like your biological clock is ticking. It's like it's an idiom that means like you're running out of time to have a kid. You know.
Yeah, the idiom from menopause, sure, but
I'm just saying, like biological clock. Nobody says that to refer to their circadian rhythm, right?
a
Not
lot
that
of
I
them
know.
do.
Yeah, it's very much the pregnancy thing, right? All right, Amanda agrees with me. It's law. End of game.
Alright, so
I
next week,
don't
folks.
know.
What? Wait, what'd you say?
The game is over. So
Oh,
Oh well.
see you all next week. That was
Yeah.
a fun session, guys.
that's not what I meant.
20
Alright.
minutes and we haven't we done, and that's enough session.
Well, we've
No!
we've D&D we've won D&D without rolling a single dice tonight. Good job, everyone.
Got him.
Yeah. All right. No, the only thing that I wanted to talk about. Are we far enough away that like Salaki can't hear us?
I mean, she's only a little bit away, but she doesn't seem to be actively paying attention. She is
Okay.
she's conversing with the other drow at the table with her.
I'm speaking in hushed tones here. This place is creepy and weird, and so I think it might be worthwhile to keep our horses outside town with Cavelli. Like, I don't know, just Cavelli maybe, or someone else, just in case we need to get out of here.
Think they're going to what? Eat the horse?
No,
don't-
just. Well, I mean, if we have our horses like closed up in a stable, be harder to like get into the stable, get the horses get out of the stable, as opposed to like running to the camp, get on the horses riding away. Is my thought process.
I mean, by that logic, if it sounds that dangerous, why are we even staying? Why don't we just stay at camp?
Sure. No, valid. Do you want to do that? That's also.
I mean, as far as I know, we just came in here to get some information.
You do know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying,
Um,
walking around the town, creepy.
you haven't-
Weird.
You haven't spoken to them yet, but you've been directed to an individual by the name of Taneri, who is apparently the lead magical researcher person, the person who more or less is the administrator of the town. You have not met this person yet, though.
Well, I mean, I'm happy to be the crazy one here and have us all just stay in the inn anyway. I'm just saying, it's creepy and weird is my conclusion right now.
Okay.
I mean, I'm heading back to camp if any of you guys want to join me.
What?
Efferil,
Yeah.
do you want to stay in a bed?
I didn't hear what Kledash said.
Oh, I said I'm heading back to camp if any of y'all want to join me.
What about the rooms?
Well, that's nice, but yeah, no, creepy, dark.
If that is the majority decision, I see no point in splitting us all up.
What are you doing? What's this about?
I'm emphasizing.
What's Enten think? I mean, Enten, what do you think?
Enten kind of considers for a moment. He says, well, they are strange, but I don't know that they're dangerous. I mean, I feel like they've had plenty of opportunity to hurt us, and they haven't, so...
You know, when I make kind of judgment calls like this, I feel like I'm generally like drawing on experiences that I had maybe when I was younger that kind of helped shape me, and you know, my behaviors are all kind of a reflection of things. Did you ever have an instance when you were younger, maybe an anecdote you could share with us where, you know?
He pulls out his warhammer and lays it on the table with its like internal flame going, and he says, "Yes."
I want you to know that I will not be intimidated, but I will also be dropping this line of questioning. All right, yeah, I mean, I'm good with camp. Enten, it seems like there's Enten and Efferil want to sleep in a bed, and I kind of want to sleep in a bed, but I also don't like dealing with creepy and weird. I don't know. I just feel like a decision. I don't know.
I mean, we all don't have to be in the same spot. Some of us can go back to camp, and some of us can stay here.
I missed the boat. We never had to make decisions like this when we were on the boat. It was inside the cabin, outside the cabin. There was no. Oh, do I want to go off to the? What do you mean? You're gonna jump in the water?
Incredibly
Can you-
uncomfortable. I hated every minute of being on the boat.
No,
Oh.
don't say it.
Your boat is tiny.
What? Alright, quick note. Efferil. Not friends. Efferil, not my friend. Alright. Well, okay, I mean, if we don't care if we both all in the same place, like, show of hands, who's going to camp, who's staying here.
You can't see our hands. That's why it's all valid.
Alright, who is going to camp?
I am. Kledash is.
Okay. Who is staying here?
I'll stay here.
Says nobody. Okay.
What about Enten? Enten's the only other vote. Tyorrgheth's already at the camp, so it's...
Well, it would be nice to have some proper padding for once. I think I'll stay here.
I'll stay with.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Efferil and Enten staying at Inn.
Yeah, I'll just stay here then, I guess. Oh.
Okay.
Here we go.
Now that you've decided where you want to sleep for 20 minutes, okay, so you two head back to the camp.
Let's say bye to Slacky.
She gives you a nod. Alrighty, so you make your way back out of the tavern, whose name you still don't know because the sign is in Sylvan and you don't read Sylvan. You make your way out through the town. It's nighttime, but the activity level of the town doesn't seem to have changed very much. You gather these people are relatively used to working in the dark. You head back to the campsite. You see Tyorrgeth. Tyorrgeth, what have you been doing for the past few hours in the camp with
pretty much just kind of watching over it, making sure nothing strange is happening on the perimeter and such.
Okay. There's a few times when you see Cavalli like start to ask something and stop. And start to ask something and then stop.
I'll just tell him like,
the horses.
I'll just kind of go over to him, sort of, yeah, just simply like, hey, if you have something to ask, you can. I'm not the greatest at answering, but I'll do my best.
Well, I was just wondering because I've never seen someone fight like you do. I've never seen somebody fight without armor. It seems dangerous.
Yes. It is dangerous, but after a while you learn to work with it.
I see. He seems content with the answer. He's definitely still processing a lot of the experiences he's had over the past couple of months.
He's still processing the man whose whole fighting is
This is the farthest
angry.
I've ever been from the Shire, Mr. Frodo.
Do you have any other questions?
I know. No, I don't know.
Very well. If you have anything else to ask me, just let me know. And then I go back to like guarding. Just simply answer, tell him, hey, ask me whatever you need to. If I can answer, I will. And then go back to just kind of walking the perimeter again.
Okay. Make a perception check just to see what you see on the side of the road.
All right. And that is an 11.
11? Okay. Something interesting you notice about pretty much ever since you entered the Valley of the Mage, there's almost no foot traffic or cart traffic on the road, like at all. There's very little movement in this area. in peering into the forest, it's a little difficult just because of the darkness. Your dark vision only goes out so far.
Yeah.
Even the forest itself seems still. It seems to be almost devoid of animals. There is movement here and there, but it's a little hard to catch what was moving. Certainly no threats, or at least nothing that you perceive as a threat. But it's you haven't seen this kind of stillness since being on the boat. On like an evening where, you know, nothing is happening and there's calm water and stuff. Would you mind throwing yourself on push to talk?
Oh yeah, of course, I'll do it. Sorry.
So it's just an odd, not unsettling, but you're just like tensed up and ready for something, and just nothing comes. Which is, it's a good experience for once. I'm actually going to shift this over because I didn't mark on the map where the edge of the camera was, and I keep pushing people off towards the edge of the camera. So Dásos and Kledash, you return to the camp. You see Tyorrgeth just sort of keeping an eye out, watching things outside of the camp, and Cavelli is over taking care of the horses. He's actually taken past tense of the horses, and he's now he has like a small knife, and he's just whittling away at a piece of wood.
Hey, Cavelli.
Hi, Dásos.
How's it going?
It's going. It's certainly
What's your
been
dad's
interesting.
name?
Oh my god. Actually, hang on. I need to get a paper from my bookshelf. 1 second.
Oh.
Out of a stack of papers.
I'm
Hold
wondering
on.
why you're asking everyone about their dad.
Because he likes fucking
it's
with
to
me.
it's to make him do extra work.
Oh. That's just sad.
But in like a cool guy way.
Cavelli's father's name is Rodus. Rodus. My father's name is Rodus.
So your dad rode us, and you do horses. You ride horses. So it's like rode is the past tense of ride.
That's
There's
not
something there.
quite.
Yeah, don't worry. You know what? Hey, Cavelli, I'm gonna hold on to that one. This one's still in the workshop.
It's a
This
bit
one
of a
is in
stretch.
the workshop. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it'll come back. Yeah, don't you worry. Cool. All right. Yeah. Well, so the horses are good, right?
Yeah, I mean he's had the past couple hours to work with it, and Cavelli says, yeah, they've been pretty
Oh yeah,
well
no,
behaved.
that was a question directed at him.
at him.
Character, sorry.
The horses have been well behaved. There doesn't seem to be anything around that's liable to spook them. I haven't even seen any small animals or anything, so I think they're pretty secure here.
Wait. So in like a conspicuous way where we're in the woods and you haven't seen any wildlife.
And Tyorrgeth, you can back this up as well. Not that I've noticed. I haven't heard any bird calls or
Yeah, there hasn't
no
been anything.
squirrels.
No sounds whatsoever.
I arch my eyebrow towards Kledash and see what he thinks.
I mean, we knew this place is weird, but the fact that there's no wildlife, I mean, that to me says that this is a weird place, because if the animals are staying away, and they got some intuition.
Ezo Pete's. Maybe we hit the inn. I guess we have the hut, right?
Oh yeah, we got the hut.
Do you think the hut's enough? The hut was compromised once.
I mean, the hut was compromised by something that could burrow into the ground. That's about our only problem.
Well, I'm not worried if you're not worried.
Not unless we got mole people on our hands.
Why do you keep putting things in my head? No wildlife. That's okay. Oh wait, sorry, this is a recap question that Kledash was saying in chat. So who's the god we're seeing around town? I think it began with an L, right?
Lolth. Lolth. Let me throw that in chat.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I said it was the same
gameplay?
person as the amulets, but I was totally wrong.
No, not at all.
Unless Lolth is another name for Baphomet.
Whoever made the religion check before, I think it was Dásos, you know Baphomet and Lolth are not related.
Okay.
I mean, they're Baphomet wants to be part of the same pantheon, but he's a demon lord, not a god, so.
Pretty advanced stuff for me, a lowly little half-elf sailor. Yeah, wait, we also don't have the person who usually watches, like, keeps eye out because Efferil's in the inn. Whatever. I'm sure there's no way that 3 of us get ambushed. 4 of us get ambushed. Nope, no, because Enten's in the inn.
Cavelli
There's no way.
Cavelli goes, hey.
Look, Cavelli, actually, you know what? Serious talk real quick, Cavelli. If we get into some sort of actual fight involving actual danger, I want you to take the horses and just get out of there, and I'll find you. This is a good conversation for us to have now, after we've been on the road for 3 months, but that's the score for me.
I mean, I don't know how to fight, so that sounds reasonable to me. He kind of trails off.
We'll work on that, Cavelli, but not today, not tonight. All right, I'm ready to hit the hay.
So are we just all gonna go to bed, or are we gonna do a watch cycle? What are we doing here?
Yeah, I guess that's the problem for Watch, is that we were having just Efferil handle the whole thing, and we don't have that anymore. But I also don't actually... I don't know how to roleplay this, but I don't really need a long rest the way like a spellcaster does, you know? Like, we're not...
Well, you only need 4 no, you don't. You don't get abilities... I mean, you have a few abilities that come back on long rest, don't you?
I mean,
Oh, no, 'cause you're
when's
not...
the last time I used an ability?
Okay, fair point. Just so you're aware, not taking a long rest, you do run the risk of gaining levels in exhaustion.
Okay.
And exhaustion levels.
Doesn't that eventually kill you?
Sorry, this is something I should just like know / look up, but like, so I can't do like 6 hours of sleep.
So you can do 6 hours of sleep and 2 hours of light activity. I personally, as a DM, define light activity as nothing that involves an ability check or saving throw. So a watch is out. But you can do things like, bad example because you're not a spellcaster, but like you can study your spell book, or you can study a book of yours, or you can take care of your horses, like things that don't involve checks that you can just do without exerting yourself.
Okay.
You can use those last 2 hours, but you do need a minimum of 6 hours of sleep, and then 2 hours of light activity, so like 8 hours total of just light activity.
Okay, then...
I mean, we could just sleep and hope the mole people don't come after us.
Yeah, let's hit it. Let's hit the hay.
Yeah,
Sleeping
let's just
with
rest.
no watch. We're right near the
Cavelli.
town. What's the worst that could happen?
Cavelli moves close to Kledash and says, I think I'll sleep in the middle, if that's okay with you.
Oh my god, hell yes.
Because if something's gonna attack us, I figure maybe put the people that can take a hit first.
I mean, yeah,
Like, now
we're essentially going to have to sleep around the campfire, so
Like, now
the
you
campfire
scared
is going to be in the middle.
God, Cavelli's on fire. Cavelli didn't think this all the way through.
He's just sitting in the campfire with like flames coming up, and he's like, "This is fine."
He picks up his mug.
Yeah. All right. So are you guys just heading to bed? I assume you're putting the hut up.
Yes.
Okay. So you go and you cast, excuse me, Liamon's tiny hut, which is not that tiny, actually. So you go and you cast Liamon's tiny hut, and you guys arrange yourselves and you go to sleep. Going back to the inn, Efferil, is there anything else that you would like to do before going to bed? Enten just has one thing that he needs to do before going to bed, but it's reading his spell book, so it's nothing that needs to involve other people.
I don't think I need to do anything other than go to sleep and just kind of realize that no, that those guys now need to be out in the town without the guy watching over them. I didn't realize how much I was doing for you guys. Oh well. Yeah, I just go to bed.
Okay. You head over to the innkeep, and the innkeep gives you a single key and says, "What's yes, you do know English. What's happened to the rest of your group? Are they not coming back?"
They decided to find alternative accommodation. I don't know why.
After you put all that work in. Oh well, their loss.
I just shrug.
And he directs you to there's a hallway down at the end of the bar, opposite the doorway, and it looks like there aren't really that many rooms at this place. You go down the hallway and there's like 4 rooms, 2 of which you can see have a key in them, meaning they're not occupied. So only 1 room is occupied right now. You take the key that was given to you and you go to the other door, unlock your door, and you go inside.
And then I get attacked by 17 marauders.
Yeah, go ahead and roll now. You in the room, it's fairly Spartan. The space is more or less just like blank walls. There's a window, but like why? Because it's dark all the time. There's 2 beds. They're both about twin size, which is a little big for Enten, a little small for you, but you make it work. There's a chest of drawers. And this is like the Holiday Inn of medieval or Greyhawk inns. And you
He's sleeping on the ground, though.
Yep. Well, not according to the rest of your group, apparently. And you go and you wind down and you do your evening activities, and you get your physical rest. You don't really. Your sleep is a little different, but you get your physical rest anyway. As the evening progresses, Dásos, Kledash, and Tyorrgeth, nothing happens. Morning comes and you guys wake up. You wake up to, it's a slight shift in the light. You can see where the sun about should be. It's brighter than it was when you got there, but it's still pretty dark. You wake up and Cavelli kind of rolls over and wakes up with the rest of you. What would you guys like to do this morning?
Another day in Gloomsville,
Does
isn't
anyone really? I don't think we really have much to do before going to get Efferil and Enten, do we?
No, just get some breakfast.
Let's eat some dank cakes. It's like pancakes, but it's dark and dank here. So let's have dank cakes.
I thought you were going to go with a different way of saying dank.
I think he just wanted to. I think he just wants to use the word dank.
Just wanted to say dank, but it did come into my head as just like dark and dank, and then I realized that like no one uses it that way anymore. Like it means something else, but I went with it anyway.
But I mean, could I still try to forage in this strange place?
I mean, yeah, there aren't a lot of animals, but there are certainly plants.
Yeah.
You're not familiar.
There's gotta be some.
You're halfway around the world
fairies.
from. You're halfway around the world from where you normally, forage. You are able to find, and through some experimentation you had while you were on the road, you have generally sort of familiarized yourself with the native edible plants. While you're out,
I poisoned myself at least once, didn't I?
Oh yeah, no, it was awful. You were throwing up all night. Everybody else had to like.
Oh no.
They had to like. Kledash had to like recast the dome elsewhere because you threw up in the dome and the smell couldn't get out. It was awful.
Oh.
That was so bad.
No.
Um, that's what you get
Oh no.
for eating unfamiliar berries.
Hey,
Could have been worse. Could have been coming out both ends. So.
hey, it's all worth it for progress. That was not needed. I could literally just read a book somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
But who reads books?
As you are actually going, you come across a plant that you've not seen before, but it's like a bush, about, I don't know, 2 feet tall. It's a small little bush, but it has these almost like fist-sized berries. You think they're a fruit, just like a regular fruit at first, but then you touch them and they're not like apples, you know, like a solid fruit. They're like a berry.
I sense a time to test.
That's entirely up to you. You do.
I'ma do a test. I might die, guys.
Right at this moment.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Like my character might die.
It takes you about an hour.
I don't know.
It takes you about an hour to forage. So the rest of, Efferil and Kledash and Dásos and Cavelli are like packing up the camp and getting the horses just set and fed and stuff while you're doing this.
All right. So yeah, I'll try one of those gigantic berries over there. See if they're safe.
Oh, you'll eat one? Okay, hang on.
Yes.
Give me a second. I gotta pull the table out.
Yes, this could end. This is gonna end beautifully.
Okay. You go and hang on. Fuck. I don't have hang on. I gotta roll a D100. 1 second.
I only sense good things ahead.
61. Okay. Okay. You go and you eat the fruit, and it's weird. It doesn't really seem to have a taste at first. Like you bit into like, I don't know, a squishy ball of rice or something. Like there's just no taste or flavor. And you think about it for a second, and you start thinking of a taste, and suddenly it tastes like that. And you're like, huh, that's weird. You think of a different taste, and it tastes like lemons. It tastes like pineapple. Whatever exotic fruits that you can think of. You think of fruits you've heard of but never tasted, and now you know what they taste like.
I think I'm gonna call this berry the prestidigitation berry.
Yeah, I might take a few of these. Is any ill effect happening?
You don't immediately feel anything happen to you. You do notice as you are sort of getting to the end of this berry, the seeds in the berry are about 1 inch long. They look almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like lima beans. They're very, like a bright, whitish tan color. And they're hard, like they're solid. So you have 6 of those from this berry.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll carry a few of those on me just in case. See if
as
useful.
you finish this berry entirely, you feel satiated. Like you feel like you've had a very large meal.
Yes, I think I found growable good berries, guys.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm taking these.
Okay, there are at the moment. Hang on, let me see how many are on there. At the moment, there are 7 of these. Now 6 of these large, like almost apple-sized berries. You get them into the light, and you notice they have this iridescence to them. Like you bring them out into a slightly brighter patch, and you turn, and it starts like the blue color of a blueberry, and you turn it over, and it slides into like the deep maroon of a raspberry. And it's weird. Like it has different colors based on what angle you look at it.
Yep, I'm holding on to these 6 growable fist-sized good berries.
Okay. You tuck those away and head back to camp. Make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Oh. No. Uh, uh, let me check what my constitution is again.
Should be on a constitution, probably.
Yes. That is if you are smart and actually open your sheet beforehand. But I am not smart. Anyways, uh, come on. It is, okay. 23.
23. Okay. You get back to camp and everything seems like it's where it should be.
All right. So I never noticed anything weird happen because of these berries.
Other than their flavor profile, no.
Well, in my ever vastly growing knowledge of plants, I announced that I found an interesting plant that seems to properly feed you just if you eat one of them. I'll just announce, hey, this plant seems to act like a meal. You want to give it a go?
For mechanical purposes, I will say, you will not be hungry for a week. This food satisfies you for a week.
Well, I found something good. If you don't die from it.
Kledash is going to lean over to Dásos. We'll watch him. If he doesn't die immediately, we might try some.
All right.
This isn't what they're called, but I just came up with this name, and I think it's a lot funnier than what it's actually called. You can put 6 great berries in your inventory.
All right.
They're better than good berries. They're great berries. That's not what they're actually called.
How many master berries?
He didn't find any. He doesn't have the appropriate gym badge yet.
Wait. Good berries. Was this a thing in this D&D game where someone had good berries?
Yep, they were called dusk berries.
Oh.
Do you want me to tell you who had them? Because I still have that on the sheet.
No. I couldn't remember if it was this D&D game or a different one.
Wasn't it someone who? Wasn't it one of the group?
It's one of the dead people.
Yeah. Well, one of them missing in action. Not all of them died. Only one.
And also, like, good berry lasts for a day, after which it becomes a mundane berry. So, either way,
it was Terran. Terran's the one with the dusk berries, the Adrian dusk berries.
Oh. Well. Neat.
Alrighty, so you guys finished packing up camp. Is Cavelli coming with you into town? Or is he staying out here? What's the plan for Cavelli? He coming with you?
I mean, wait, into town?
Yeah, I mean, we're not his captain. You're leading him.
I mean, I think he should. Well, I guess that's okay. That's a good question, actually. All right, Cavelli, why don't you come into town? We'll find somewhere to stable the horses, and you can stay there.
That sounds good to me. I mean, we'll see how Efferil and Enten fared. If they're fine, then I'll probably be fine too. So.
I don't know what you're basing that on, but that's a comforting thought, Cavelli.
Right. Sorry, my headset beeped its low battery warning. What was that?
I said, when he said, if they're fine, then I must be too, I said, I don't know what you're basing that on, but that sounds like a comforting thought. And then I'm going to saddle up.
It's what I have right now. You guys pack up and you head into town. You bring, Enten and Efferil's horses with you. And you make your way through the town. Again, same general activity level, not a whole lot seems to have changed. In terms of, who's out and about and so on. you make your way over to this inn where Enten and Efferil. Enten's not here yet, so Efferil, you come to your higher level of consciousness. You return to your full conscious state. It's
Efferil is high. Efferil is high.
It's
Efferil is an elf.
It's as daytime as it gets. So you and Enten both pack your things back up. And is there anything you want to do this morning? It takes about an hour for them to get in, and you wake up.
Yeah, whilst they're doing that, I'm
around
just
the
gonna have
same
a
time.
giant breakfast cooked for me by the staff.
Okay. You go
Because-
to the inn, and in return for the performance you gave the previous evening, they provide you with a meal, and the meal is substantial. Like, when you've gotten free food before, it's been like whatever they had. Like these people went out of their way to cook something for you. It's not food you've seen before, but you look around and you see others eating the same food, so you go and you try it, and it's interesting. It's kind of got like this umami aftertaste thing. It's kind of weird, and the texture's
Doesn't matter if I don't like the taste. I just use prestidigitation.
Yeah, I mean you try it and then you prestidigitate it to whatever you want. Enten sees you doing that and follows suit. And as the two of you are eating your meal, this would be when the other four arrive back at the inn. And you see them enter. You're looking. You said you were looking for a place to stable the horses.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, do they call it brekkie
No.
in like England?
Yeah, but this isn't England.
Isn't that an English thing where they say brekkie?
I don't know, Meganought, is it?
I mean, the United Kingdom has a lot of different subcultures in it, so probably
Can you tell me about a full English?
that is mostly fried eggs, fried bacon, beans, fried toast or toast. Sometimes black pudding. Am I missing anything? Oh, sausages. And maybe some cooked tomato. That's generally a full English. It's very
That
nice.
seems-
How are we the
that
fat
seems
ones?
pretty fine. Yeah, that's probably because we don't move.
That's it. The
Because-
Englishman has his full English
Because
and then goes
fat
out for
isn't the thing that
5K.
makes you fat. Remember, which
Is it?
sounds wrong, but it's sugar that makes you fat. And
Anyway.
Americans
It's
have
not-
like
that's-
pancakes
none of that
with
is
maple
really
syrup.
sugary.
So, as you are,
Yeah.
you're about
All right, yeah, I'm ready to hit the
Three
stable.
quarters-
Sorry.
you're probably about 3/4 of the way through your meal. The rest of you, Dásos, you're keeping an eye out as you look around, and this is something you probably would have noticed the previous evening while you were skulking about. There doesn't seem to be, apart from the stable itself, apart from the stable itself, there doesn't seem to really be any specific stable. Like, you see horses tied up here and there, but no, like, central, rented lodging, I don't know, rented lodging for horses. You do see a small stable on the side of the inn. I mean, this place isn't very large, and they probably don't get a lot of visitors, so... but you do see a stable just on the side of this inn.
Sorry, I'm trying to clear my throat. All right. Okay, so it's basically just the inn is my only real option.
More or less. I mean, as you've been going around, that seems to be one of the only really public... I
Are
mean,
there
not
other
public,
people
but-
with horses around? Like, do other things like tie off your horse or whatever?
Oh yeah. There have been a couple of posts here and there. You see some horses that have been tied. Horses aren't uncommon here. It
Okay.
seems you'd say probably one for every 4 people you've seen. But there just isn't like a stable that everyone keeps a horse at.
Cool. Yeah, then I'll
was
I'll
very
stable at the inn, and buy Cavelli a big breakfast.
Okay. You enter the inn, and the innkeep greets you, and the innkeep. This would be everybody except Tyorrgeth, because he doesn't know you, or Cavelli. You all get your meals set because of the performance the previous evening. You buy Cavelli a breakfast. Tyorrgeth, you are. I mean, you can eat if you want to, but you don't feel the need to. And you buy Cavelli a large breakfast. The purchase of the breakfast is 2 silver. But it's quite a lot of food. And he starts going to town. He's probably
Just
tired.
hosing it down.
He's probably tired of rations.
Okay. Hey, take it easy, Cavelli. Don't want it coming back up, or I don't know. I'm trying to relate to him. Whatever.
Yeah, okay. As he's eating.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
You.
Alright.
You literally brought somebody who had seen 1 gold piece in his entire life with you. You expect him to have high standards from the get-go.
Just want him to learn quickly.
Right, so you can get on with dying.
Yeah. Did I see Salaki out there? I was trying to keep an eye out for Salaki. I should have mentioned that. I could have done,
Sure,
like,
make a perception check as you were walking through the town. Through
Okay.
Moonhollow.
Oh, let's see. 8 plus something. Perception. Oh, plus 15.
Plus 7 to perception, jeez.
Yeah, it's expertise.
Yeah. You don't
I've got
see
6
her
persuasion.
specifically around, no.
Okay.
As you're going through the town. So you talk to the innkeep about stabling the horses. The stabling the horses would have been free the previous evening because of the performance, but future nights will be probably 1 copper per horse per night.
Do I really have to write that down? 2 copper per night?
Are you only stabling 2 horses?
Yeah, we only have 2 horses. Oh no, we got more horses, right?
No,
have
that's
we-
right. No, you're right. You only
Yeah,
have
we
2
still only have the
horses
2
because you have
horses, yeah.
because you have the cart. That's right.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, so I guess we probably have the cart here too, though. So that's probably a thing that we have to deal with.
the innkeep does offer to hold on to it. He does. He says, you know, I can't keep it for forever, but if you're planning on coming back this way, I could probably find somewhere safe for it.
Cool, thanks.
If you're, I mean, I assume if you're going to keep your horses here, then you'll probably want them back. So.
Can we not take our horses on our trip? Listen.
Where are
We
you
haven't
going?
talked much. What do you know about where we're going?
I don't know anything about where you're going. Where are you going?
All right. What's your name?
My name is Dranezek.
Drazenek.
Dranezek.
Dranezek.
I threw it in chat.
All right, Dranezek. What's your dad's name?
He looks you very carefully up and down. He says, I don't believe that is an appropriate question for one who has just met.
All right. I'm done with that. All right.
I would be careful who you ask that question of. Some may not be as forgiving as I am.
Some of them are gonna make rocks fall and end my campaign to have every NPC have a dad's name. All right.
No, you already made the checks, so you don't know this. He says paternity is a. He kind of leans in. Paternity is a bit of a touchy question, I assume you're not from around here, so you might want to be careful about who you ask about these things.
In what sense? Like, what do you?
He kind of sighs and runs his hand through his hair for a bit. And he like glances around the room, and you take a look around and you notice apart from your group, there are 5 patrons right now. Of them, 4 are female. And he says, I don't know what it's like where you're from, but it's not very common for men to attain positions of power. It's a very much, he like is very carefully choosing his words based on who's around him.
Sure.
The matrons are very much in charge in our society.
Oh, it's the queen bee situation. That's kind of what we got going on too.
I suppose you could put it that way. It's not
Alright.
quite, but perhaps.
Who do I talk to talk to a matron? And wait, sorry, hushed tones. Can I talk to you about the matrons?
Well, there are no matrons here in Moonhollow. We are somewhat far away from where our kind is usually from. But the closest I suppose you'll find will be Teneri. She's the person who more or less makes sure this town still exists. She's the one that's in charge of all the magical research that happens, and she's the one that would probably know a little bit more about where you're going. You never told me where you're going.
Alright. Dranezek, you've given me some good information, but also absolutely no reason to trust you with anything about our destination. But I also don't have much to go off of, and I have no fear whatsoever of anything.
Make an insight check.
What?
Make an insight check if you'd like to.
Oh, I definitely like to do insight checks. What do we got? That is proficiency, but not expertise. 11.
He seems about on the level. I mean, nothing about him is screaming, evil or murderer. He hasn't given you a reason to trust him, but he hasn't given you a reason not to trust him either, so.
Do you know Salaki?
I know of her, yes.
Okay. What do you think? Is she trustworthy?
As I would say so.
Do you think she's matron material?
When you ask that, he takes a step back and looks almost frightened, and looks at the other women the other drow females in the room. One of them looks up and kind of cocks an eyebrow before returning to she's reading a book. He's like, I can't answer that.
Let me try to clarify something here. So, the matrons run they're like queens. They run this area. They're in charge.
The matrons are the leaders of our society. As I mentioned, we don't have any here.
No, I get, yeah.
We act a bit different than some of our brethren, but the old habits die hard. So certain things we've maintained and certain things we've let go. Every so often Teneri does have to communicate with the matron who is sponsoring this. I believe she calls it an expedition, but we've not.
What expedition?
To the Valley of the Mage. The research that they perform here can only be performed here. I don't know a lot about it, but there are people here who have never done magic before in their lives, but when they come here, they can do magic. So I assume this place has properties that are favorable to magical research. as this conversation is happening, you notice Enten is leaning in and listening very intently.
Enten, how did you get into magic?
I don't know.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. You came through. You came through. Yeah, wait. I was about to. Sorry, Kledash, say what you just typed in chat. Is funny. Because I wanted to be like, Dásos runs up on top of the building and jumps to test his new flight spell. As soon as you said like, oh, so you can do magic here. All right. Okay, wait. I'm trying to keep all this straight because I am really bad at location names here. But so basically, what we're saying at this point.
Yep.
I'm just trying to clarify the things I just heard from him.
Okay.
So, here in Moonhollow, it's just like a small town, right? But they're part of a larger drow dark elf society, which is run by someone called the Matrons. The Matrons sent people to the Valley of the Mage to do a research expedition because of the magical properties here.
Correct. And
so there is a matron, I don't know their name yet, who is directly sponsoring the expedition here.
Yes.
Okay. Is this something where I just wasn't paying attention so I didn't know about this expedition to this point, or is this the first we're hearing of this?
This is the first you're hearing of this specific information.
Okay.
Up until now, most of the questions you've been asking have been about Qualish and like where to go in the barrier peaks, so you haven't really heard a lot about the town itself, other than what you've gleaned from just observation.
And the person who would know the most about it is the person questioning it, Enten.
Yeah.
Wait, he knows the most about what?
He knows the most about it because he was the one questioning everyone, because it's in my notes.
Oh, word.
Yeah, he's the one
hey,
who has
Enten.
all that information.
What do you know about all this, Enten?
And he says, well, I heard of magical hotspots in this world. If this place is one of them, that'd be understandable why Qualish would want to come here. If there's, there's places like this that have relatively stable, and he, let me just double check something in his inventory. No, he doesn't. He sort of like, experimentally just does a quick prestidigitation and just sends off a couple of sparks. Huh. Anyway, places like this, they seem to have a fairly stable, almost magical energy. It's a lot like where I'm from. This place, magic is hard here in this world, but where I'm from, you just reach out and take it, and that's the magic you can use. It feels a lot like that here. So I assume, based on what we've been told, that this expedition that Qualish took up into the mountains, they probably, if I had to guess, ran into some sort of wild magic or unstable magic. But, I wouldn't really know. We'd have to go there and find out.
Pete, Enten, you sure are a font of information.
Yeah, it's almost like I spent the entire night previously speaking to everyone in the tavern.
Okay, Enten, you don't need to take a fucking attitude right now. We're just talking.
Over a round
right?
of Mahjong.
Mahjong.
Who plays Mahjong, honestly? Nerd.
Wait, I'm getting the impression that Enten, the person who plays Enten, plays Mahjong in real life. Is that a thing that I'm...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If you look at his status on Discord, that's his ranking in, like, Mahjong something something.
He also has an electronic Mahjong board. I think he showed a video of that here. It's kind of cool.
That's neat. Yeah, that's cool.
And I'm just joking about that. Don't really.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, no, but absolutely dork thing. I don't have several RuneScape characters. All right. Okay.
Says the one who has Runelight up right now.
I actually don't. I don't know why my status is stuck that way. I closed it and it won't go away. Yeah.
That's funny.
I usually am doing something AFK off on the side, but it's not open right now. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Okay. So.
The D&D, honestly.
No, it's literally click once every 6 minutes and make the numbers go up. blah blah blah. Drenezik, you have been a delight, and I know that I'm not always the easiest to talk to, so I appreciate it. I need to ask you one more question though, which is if I'm gonna go on and talk to more people around here, I need you to tell me what specifically I said that gave you pause, so that I will not say them to other people.
Well,
And instead use it as ammunition.
Exactly.
the structure of the matriarchy is fixed. People in this society know their place. They can raise their station by doing certain things, but one does not become a matron. One is born a matron. So,
Okay.
questioning whether one... Allow me to rephrase. The question that you asked is more or less me questioning you, are you an elf? At all. I mean, I recognize your heritage as being partial, but it's almost on the same level of insult as if I were not speaking to you as an elf at all.
Alright. Okay. Cool. You know what? You are just great. Alright, last question. Who are you working for? You spy?
Make a... Make an intimidation check, I guess?
It's an 11.
11?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, good. He says, this is my inn. I don't work for anyone.
Okay. Well,
I work
I
for
believe you.
myself.
alright. I believe you. Alright, cool. Well, I thank you for your service. We'll leave the cart around the side, and we'll let you know what happens with the horses. Maybe we'll talk at some point. I hope you have a good day.
And you as well. He returns to his other duties.
Cool.
So just make sure to note, you'll probably want to, at some point, give him money in advance. Because,
Sure. Yeah.
Although granted, he didn't say necessarily that you had to pay up front. Well, you have to ask him.
He didn't say we had to pay anything for the cart.
Oh, the cart? No.
But...
No, just for the
Okay.
horses.
The horses, yeah, 2 copper a night. So I mean, but I still, I haven't figured out whether or not like the barrier peaks are the kind of place where we can bring the horses. You know, like even if we don't bring a whole group of horses, it might benefit us to have 1 or 2. But yeah,
Never know.
so we'll figure that out. Yeah. I have a note. Okay.
All right. So, where to? The rest of the group.
Well, I feel like some of that question is like Enten, because he's the one that was talking to people specifically about the stuff that we have to do now.
Well, he's mentioned that he's heard of this Tannery individual a few times from different people. You specifically at like the bookstore, you saw on the map where the map ends in the barrier peaks, so you could probably navigate out there on your own if you wanted to. There may be other people out and about that you could speak to, so there's a couple different potential avenues of continuance.
Anybody have any ideas?
I mean, he did say they were the person that owned the place, or at least ran the place, so it would probably make the most sense to talk to Tanari.
Wait, Tanari runs? I thought the matrons.
The matrons are
She's
the ones
the head
that
researcher in the town.
I see. Okay, gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was mixing that up with because they said that the matron who sponsored it had to come up here sometimes. Okay.
Tannery gives information to them. They don't come here.
I see. Okay, gotcha. So Tannery head researcher. And we don't know specifically where Tannery is?
I mean, I would assume if she's the leader, she'd be in the biggest building in the town.
Enten
Could we
has been
just
given
ask?
vague instructions. Just sort of, up the road, you'll know it when you see it type directions.
Okay. Cool. Well, I want to head that way, and I'm keeping an eye out for Salakia as we go. If
Okay.
we could easily just split up too.
Everybody else, are you going with as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Cavelli coming with you as well?
He is now.
wait.
On a leash.
No, Cavelli's with the horses. I'm not
Okay,
putting
you're
Cavelli on
leaving-
a leash. Messed
Okay.
up. Messed. I hate this. Cavelli on a leash, you sickos.
So says the person
Just put him.
who-
Just put him in his crate
Weren't
and leave
you
him in
the one
the
who
car.
said
He'll be
he was gonna-
fine.
Didn't you say you were gonna?
Don't worry, the AC is on.
Weren't
Yeah, you gotta,
the one
you
who?
gotta put a sign on
like,
the window so people don't break it.
Yeah. He's listening to lo-fi beats with the AC on. Please don't break the window. Oh my god.
Also love how Tanari's place is described as you'll know it when you see it. The only time that we were told that before was Anaxi's house, and that was pretty wild, so I can't wait to see what Tanari's house is like.
It's just a slightly bigger house than everyone else's.
Yeah, we sit here and just like,
Actual.
oh, what? This is it?
Yeah, you get there and you have to like measure the number of bricks just to be sure. Alrighty. So
Doesn't this one
what's
look slightly taller?
you like look at it first
One
and you're like,
brick
huh? I don't know. No. So so what's the deal with what's the actual deal with Cavelli? What's he doing?
I was planning on leaving him at the inn, like with the horses, but like he doesn't need to be like next to them, but just
Okay.
in that area.
I assume you say something to someone because he does not speak Elvish or Undercommon.
Sure. Yeah, I'll let the bartender know that he's there, and that he doesn't speak Elvish or Undercommon. He only
Okay.
speaks Common, so if there's anyone around that speaks Common, otherwise he'll just be doing his thing.
Okay.
And I will leave him with the boat book so that he has something to do.
Alrighty. So you leave him with the boat book. The innkeep just kind of nods and, gestures to the number of empty tables around.
Cool.
And Cavelli goes and he kind of gives you a nervous nod and retreats to one of the tables toward the edge of the room and starts reading. And like you can see as you're walking out, he's reading and like looking around and reading a little bit more and looking around.
All right. Oh wait. Sorry. Right before we leave,
Yes.
Dranezak.
Yes.
What's the name of your inn?
He kind of smirks. The name of my inn is Dranezek's Inn.
Oh, you crafty son of a bitch! I love it. All right. Onward to Tanari's house.
Alrighty.
Office.
So you guys head
Building.
out. Does anybody like have any specific thing they want to do, or are you just gonna follow along? Oh, I can take Cavelli out.
Yeah, I guess I'll follow.
Okay. And you mentioned you're trying to keep an eye out for Salaki. Dásos.
Yes.
Okay. As you're walking along.
Sorry, I wasn't talking loudly enough.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead and make a perception check as you're walking along.
22.
22. Okay.
I'm
You
afraid
go
you
down.
won't bluff.
You go down about maybe 4 or 5 buildings, and you don't see her in that space. What you do see, however, it takes a second for it to register what you're looking at. in stark contrast to like the dark sort of ashy general appearance to the rest of the town, there's a building. It's constructed very much in the same way of the others, but the material it's made out of is like almost like a bright, it's like an off-white eggshell color. Like your eyes can't even focus on it for a second because it's just the brightest thing that you've seen so far. And the roof has oh, I had a lot of fun writing this. The roof has like this pink lace trim to it. And you go up to it and your eyes kind of slide past it at first because it doesn't register, and then you look at it and you're like, "Oh, maybe that's it."
Yeah, it sucks when the HOA only lets you paint your house eggshell.
Wait, I had to look at paint swatches today, so thinking about eggshell versus off-white makes me want to die.
Well, fortunately, in the dim light, it doesn't matter. It could be one or the other, and nobody cares.
Yes. Okay, the pink lace is definitely not what I expected, though. So, I mean, I see it. Do you guys know it?
What do you mean if we know it?
Because I said you'd know it when you see it. I'm saying, do we know? Are we confident this is the one?
I mean, it's the only one that looks this out of place. I would assume this is the building. Unless it's some other important structure, but even then, if we go in and they say this isn't the place, there should be important people in the weird house to tell us where to go.
You look directly at the next building and it says Tanarese. No, kidding.
This was all a red herring.
No, I'm kidding.
Alright, what's the door look like?
Does it have a nameplate on it?
There is a nameplate.
That would
It's
be
you can
helpful.
see it's in brass next to the door. You can't read it.
Does anyone
Unfortunately.
read brass?
The nameplate is etched in Sylvan on the brass. God damn it, you guys.
Why would
Yeah,
you
we should have had the
a brass
foresight
like
to
silver?
learn another language.
No, but yeah, next time I'll make you learn brass.
Alright.
I mean, a lot of you did actually. You learned a language on the way up, so just not this one.
We learned the wrong language.
So you, the door itself looks fairly plain. You notice on one side of it, where the side that has the handle, there's a big scorch mark on one side.
I make
Okay.
a back on the other side. I cast fireball.
Gotta balance it out.
It's a door.
I don't know
it
fireball.
fails its dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
no
damage.
fireball.
You
I
are
only
now
know flaming sphere.
You are now fighting the gazebo.
Is there any kind of a knocker, a bell? Is there anyone around?
There is actually on next to the doorway. You see a thin, silvered, like a cloth rope coming out from a little hole above the door.
So why would you write cloth rope in Sylvan?
This is gonna be one of those sessions, isn't it?
I pull the rope.
I'll stop.
Okay. You pull the rope,
Yeah, I
and,
pulled.
For now.
and you hear nearby this very high pitched, and it like continues ringing a lot longer than it should. There's a moment where nothing happens. There's another moment. And there's
Does
another
it
moment.
ring itself? Does it just ring again or something?
It's gonna be a TARDIS.
the sound
This house is gonna be bigger on the inside, and she's gonna be like half a mile away.
the sound has faded at this point. It's been about probably 30 seconds or so.
Is there anyone around?
I check my wristwatch.
Taking a quick glance around, I mean, there are a couple of people walking around. A few of them are taking a particular notice of you because, you know, you're in full armor, ringing the doorbell of the.
I think that if anything, I'm
researcher.
probably the most normal-looking person here.
Yeah, out of
Like,
everybody,
you know, aside from being half.
maybe Efferil, just because of the robes that he's wearing, but yeah. You take a quick glance around, and then as you are sort of directing your attention back to the building, the door, it less opens and more just voom, disappears. And on the other side of the door, you see, she's about a drow female. She's about 4 foot-ish. You can see her hair is fairly, you know, neat and coiffed. There's a couple of strands here and there flying off. What sticks out to you, apart from her height, is one of her eyes is fitted with what looks to be some sort of a metal orbit, and there's a gem embedded in it instead. And from the other side of the door, she looks at the group of you, takes a double glance at Efferil, kind of cocks an eyebrow, and then looks to who is the one that rang
Which
the doorbell?
eyebrow?
The eyebrow, it's the right side, the one above her little gem plate. Who rang the
Tyorrgeth
doorbell?
pulled the Tyorrgeth.
Tyorrgeth?
Yeah.
Alright. She turns to Tyorrgeth. Hello! In Elvish, so you don't understand her. What are you doing here?
I kind of asked them, did you happen to speak common? I don't happen to know. Would I know what Elvish is, at least? Would I be able to say, like, hey, I don't speak that?
Oh, you've been hearing Elvish constantly. You know what the language is, you just don't speak it.
Yeah, I don't speak Elvish. Do you happen to speak common?
She like does a quick glance to Dásos and Efferil, and like you see it's a really weird sort of appearance. The gem seems to like swivel slightly when her other eye moves. So they remain in alignment. And she says, in common, I said, what are you doing here?
Well, we heard that you would happen to be the one who knows the most about this area.
Yes, my name is Tannery. So, what are you doing here? She asks again, and you hear the voice is getting a little bit more firm.
We're here to ask some questions. We're trying to find out of character real quick. What's the name of the guy we're looking for?
Qualish.
Qualish. All right.
Steve.
Steve, yes. Hey,
We're
you
here
knew a
looking
Steve.
for
Good day.
We're here looking
know
for
Steve?
an artificer named Qualish. He apparently came this direction at some point or another.
She just like, you see, she kind of screws up her face a little bit, and like her you know, normal eye closes, and the other eye just kind of like wiggles in place a little bit as she thinks. She's like, oh, Qualish. Oh, that adorable little gnome that came through. Yeah. Wonder what happened to him.
Well, we've been sent to find him, so.
Oh, well, then you'll wanna. She like points up toward the mountain. You'll wanna probably make your way up to the mountain pass. That's where we saw him last.
Do you happen to know where he was going?
Yeah, well, he said he was looking for Dowen Gloin. It's sort of a bit of a local myth, if you will. He seemed confident he'd be able to find it. I guess he was sent by his brother or uncle or nephew or sister?
Yes.
I don't remember. Something like that.
His brother was the one who sent us to find him.
Ah, yeah. No,
And
he.
Maxie's
I guess.
Squelch's brother?
Was it his brother? It was a direct relative, male relative. I say that.
Oh, you can say brother. It doesn't matter. She doesn't know.
Just don't care. Either way, we were sent by him to find him. I've slipped out of character. Not important. Do you know where you said he went here? What is this thing?
As you are continuing to talk, you notice her expression is dropping slightly, and she, when you ask the question, she then turns and addresses Dásos instead. And she says, Dowen Gloin is supposedly
She's a magic stone, isn't she? She can only answer one question.
No.
Okay, sorry.
Dowen Gloin is supposedly a city where the people are made of glass, I guess? Seems dangerous, but hey, magic is magic, right?
Wait, why did she turn and say that to me?
You don't know?
Wait. Okay. What's your deal, Tannery? What's going on here?
I am not sure what you mean.
Okay. It just. All right. I'm sorry. What's with the eye? Can you tell me what that's about? It's kind of unsettling.
Make a persuasion check.
All right. Man, I really should have put expertise in that. Or proficiency.
You do a lot of talking.
Ah, it's a 7. It's a hot 7, though.
It's a hot 7. Well, you know, things happen to eyes. You need an eye. I got an eye.
Okay. Look, I'm sorry if that offended you. But okay. So, how do you say Dalanguine? Galanguine?
Dowen Gloin, yes.
Dowen Gloin. So that's a crystal city. There's a crystal city. There's a local legend which Qualish was looking for.
Give me one quick second before I commit to the spelling. Dowen Gloin, yes.
But the broad strokes that I'm asking about, those are right?
Yeah, it's a city where the people are supposedly made of glass.
Interesting. So you don't think the Dowen Gloin is real?
I've seen no evidence to indicate that it is.
What did Qualish see?
I don't know. He didn't come back.
How? Wait, so what was your relationship with Qualish?
He passed through, stayed the night, then continued on his way.
Did he ask you anything before he? Sorry, go
Well,
ahead.
he tried to get as much information as he could, but unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of information. We try to, stay in the valley where the magic is safe. But he did say that, anything that he'd find, he'd make sure came our way, which is always fun when you're looking for new and interesting things to do with magic.
So then, what do you do?
I researched magic.
Was it give me an example. What'd you do today?
Well, today I woke up and I started doing a little bit of writing notes, and then you rang my doorbell. So I haven't done a whole lot today.
Okay. Do you know Salaki?
I know of her.
God, everyone knows of her. Okay.
I mean, we're not directly friends with everybody.
Sure, yeah, it just seems like a really small place for nobody to know anybody. Do you know the barkeep, Dranezek?
Yeah. I speak to
Are you,
Dranezek all the time.
Okay. That's weird. Dranezek didn't seem to know you very well when we talked to Dranezek.
Let me rephrase. I speak to Dranezek a lot.
What does that mean? What in the world?
He knows his place.
Oh, because of the matriarch thing. That's cool. I can get on board with that aspect of it. Wait, should I start treating everybody in the party as my man servants while we're here, so we can fit in a little better?
She kind of like
Down.
gives you a look. It's just, are they not?
These are my many man servants. How many man servants?
I
do you
just
claim,
like
I mean,
stare at Dásos.
you can stare as much as you want, as long as you.
won't be getting any more healing from me.
You almost let me die the last time we had combat, and that was 5 months ago. I expected no healing of you.
Oh, you're lucky that I don't want to have to fight guards right now.
Are there guards here?
Most likely, I feel
You-
like guards would hear someone getting thrashed.
Well, you haven't seen any armed individuals on your way through the town. Like you're pretty much the only one with weapons right now that you've seen.
I just have a stick. I don't have any weapons.
Right. Well, you have a quarter. I mean, there have been people walking around with quarterstaves and, magic staffs that are similar to Efferil's and Enten's.
Mine's just a stick.
Right. You use it as a focus.
It's not a staff. I've not actually hit anyone with it yet.
No,
I
you
just
haven't.
have it. I don't even need it.
Okay.
I need
So,
Shillelagh. Can I get Shillelagh?
Back to the tome. You can get Shillelagh.
I've already got like 10 cantrips.
What's a few more?
Shillelagh's like a level 1, isn't it?
It's a cantrip.
Oh, really?
Okay. Cantrip.
Can I get a 9th cantrip?
It's a bonus action cantrip.
Interesting. Alright. Well, Tannery, so you give information to the matrons, right?
I am bound to report my research to my sponsors. Yes.
That's a really weird way of saying yes, but I'm glad that you gave me that info. When's the next time you're going to be talking to one of them?
Make another persuasion check.
I just have questions.
Sure, but you're
Haha! 19! That's my
Yes,
first
it's-
good roll of the day.
asking some really not personal, but generally private questions. I usually send reports to them weekly.
Okay.
It'll be a week in 2 days, 6 hours, and 37 minutes.
Did you tell them about Qualish?
I mentioned that a traveler had passed through. Name of Qualish.
So you will be mentioning us?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So we're noteworthy to you?
You might have noticed we don't get a lot of visitors. Any visitor is noteworthy.
Okay. Well, Well, Tannery, I don't really have much else. Does any other manservants have you any questions for Tannery? Friends? Hello?
I'm
sorry for calling you manservants.
just
Fucking acid loogie in your face.
Well, apparently
I'm
she doesn't
just-
even want to talk to you guys.
With that attitude, I don't want to talk to her neither.
She doesn't seem to know all that much that we need, to be honest.
yeah. Let's just go because I am tired. Let's just get moving.
Okay. Wait, sorry. General question. Tannery. Barrier Peaks. If we want to head into the Barrier Peaks to go after Qualish, what should we know so we don't end up? I'm not saying he's dead, but assuming he's dead, what should we do to not end up like him?
Well, I would say don't go, but if you're fixed on going, just keep an eye out. I mean, it's the tunnel that they go through is pretty narrow. Looks at most of you and stays on Enten for a bit because Enten is a chunky boy, and why am I blanking on your name? Oh my god, Tyorrgeth as well because you are pretty large. They might have a little bit of difficulty, but as far as I know, it should be able to squeeze your way through. Don't watch out for falling rocks. Don't die of exposure.
You know what happens when rocks fall?
Everybody dies.
Everybody dies. All right.
Yep.
Cool. Wait, so I'm sorry. Are there any guides of any sort? We've asked other people this, and doesn't seem like there's anyone that can get us up there.
I can certainly send someone up with you to guide you to the passageway. I don't want to send any of my people in because everyone we've sent in has not come back. So
this does seem like the kind of thing, though, that like there's probably like a young daredevil somewhere in this village that goes up and, you know.
Oh, every
like
so often, certainly we get you know, young researchers that are looking to explore this font of wild magic, and they go out and they explore the barrier peaks, and they don't come back. So
no one's ever come back. All right.
Not to my knowledge. We've had a few people explore a little bit in the tunnels and come back, but otherwise we don't really have a lot of information. And we would rather keep, you know, she taps her forehead. Our minds are more important than risking our bodies. We've tried to devise magical means for exploring the tunnels, but the magic of the region seems to resist our means of observation. So we've been content to leave things well enough alone.
Sure. All right. Okay, well, so assuming we get up there, assuming we at least, you know, approach what we're going for, and assuming we come back, what kind of information would you want from us? Because it seems like you guys are kind of on the periphery of this really exciting area and all kinds of opportunities for research, and I understand not wanting to go up there. It sounds really dangerous. So if we're going up there anyway, is there anything?
I mean, if you can get us any sort of information about how to get there safely, if Dowengloin exists, if it doesn't, where Qualish was when he died. I mean, if you have the time and mental wherewithal to map out things, that would be wonderful. I mean, we don't leave the place alone because we want to. We leave the place alone because it seems too dangerous for us. But if you can find a safe way to get up there, we would be more than happy to compensate you for that information.
Cool. All right. Well, that's all I got. Then why don't we make sure we got everything in order so we can go up into the peaks safely and have the supplies we need, or as safely as we can. We young daredevils, us. And can I just come back here, check in with you, and we figure out who's gonna lead us up there? Because we will take you up on a guide to the tunnel, and then
certainly
kind of take it from there. Okay. Wonderful. Well, you know what? I think we got off to a rocky start, Tannery, but I think we really pulled it together in the end. I think, you know, sometimes you just got to get a feel for the conversation as you go. And now, I feel good. I feel fine.
She smiles at you pleasantly, but doesn't respond.
All right. See ya.
I will look forward to hearing from you. The door reappears.
All right, party. You know, I was just having a bit of fun when I called you my manservants. You don't all have to harbor violent thoughts about me now. We can just move right past that part, if that's okay with everyone else.
Let's just move along.
Okay.
We'll see. But when we come back to this town, don't get any attitude.
Don't spit on me. I'll shine your scales if you don't spit on me.
Dásos, you have seen what his spit can do.
Yeah, exactly. And
So,
he immediately jumped to the acid loogie threat. It's a good threat. Alright, well yeah, so I mean I personally have like no rations left, so I do need to stop and get stuff. I also
Do
But-
you even have any money for rations?
I have, after borrowing 1,000 gold from you guys to cover all of that, I have 98 gold of my own left, I think.
I mean,
Because I sold that silver necklace. Yeah, I think I have like 98 gold left. 96, because I net -1 and then lost one
I mean,
for
we should
3 days.
probably stock up on rations in general, because I don't know whether or not we have anything left from the blood.
Yeah, I have literally 1 day of rations left. Actually, so I guess I have 2 because I ate at the inn yesterday. So I have 2 days of rations and horse food left. But yeah, so I mean, I think at this point we need to figure out, like, are we bringing the horses? What rations do we need? And, like, I just don't have a picture of, despite how much we've talked to people, I still have 0 picture of how long the trip is going to be, right? Is anyone else clear on that?
I mean, we've got the maps right here. Kledash ruffles his bag.
The maps into the peaks?
Well, I mean, as far as Anaxi has, I mean, yeah, there are parts that are blank, but it's better than nothing.
Sure.
Well, let's... Sorry, let's go back into character. Let's use the maps and the information we have and guesstimate a route. Then double it, and that should be our journey time. Roughly.
Perfect.
Not really character. Whatever, I don't care anymore. It's been like a month. I don't practice these characters off time.
Sure.
Damn it, Ember, for having a relaxing vacation where you got sunburned.
yeah. Oh, and how?
It wasn't even that bad of a sunburn.
It was
That's
my
karma
flesh.
for not having D&D.
My flesh was literally melting off. It sucked.
It's okay, for I too am horrendously pale.
Taking a quick
Wait, you
look.
got blessed though. Fun Ember fact: immune to poison ivy.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh. The weirdest
Really?
thing I've ever seen.
Really
Just
helpful.
like roll around in it doesn't. Yeah, yeah. You
yeah.
can. I burn less than you, but I get poison ivy, and that's.
Should take up botany.
Yeah.
Not immune to like every other poisonous plant though.
Taking a quick look at the maps that you were given by Anaxi, make a survival check. Just to read the map and estimate. Whoever would like to, you can make a survival check just to read the map and estimate about
-1. So
how far
no.
it will go.
Yeah. Who has the best survival at this point? Now that we don't have a ranger, I have 4.
I have 3.
Wait.
Oh no.
My cat just rolled a 20. Can I keep that for my next roll?
No.
He just slapped it right off the desk and hit a 20. Good job, little buddy.
Unless
I mean,
unless
we
your cat's playing a character.
Give him Cavelli. Put Archimedes in charge of
we-
Cavelli.
Let him play Cavelli.
Cavelli
Let
is
the
played
cat
by
play
Branwell.
Cavelli.
No, it's Archimedes. Branwell
Archimedes.
has no interest in all this.
Cavelli
Yes.
is played by Archimedes, the cat.
Yeah.
You just
Yes,
whenever you
I
need to make
wanna-
a decision, you just like give a grid of cat treats, and whichever one he picks is what he does.
Taps around a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we're specifically trying to figure out where to go with the maps.
You're trying to estimate
right
how
now-
long it's gonna take. I believe that was the question that was asked.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, wait, so I have a 4 and I'm proficient. So am I now the... Or does
Yes.
anyone... have
I mean,
anything?
you
Yeah,
can
you're
you
the
can
guy.
Between you and you and Kledash should
You've
have
had-
reassessed each other. Again.
you've had the maps for like 2 months. I will say that all of you, if you want to, could have taken a look at them. And it'll just
I
take
see.
the average of all the rolls of the people that looked at them.
I mean, since I have him in the bag, I would hope I've looked at them.
Yeah, you can go ahead and make rolls, and I'll just take the average. That's fine.
Well, I hit a
Got him.
12.
Okay, 12. Anybody else?
Oh, I got a 6.
Oh, what are we?
Six.
We're rolling what?
Survival.
Survivals on the map to try to
All
estimate
right.
how long the trip's going to be.
Someone should roll to bring up the average.
Because your average is currently 8.
It's 9.
Alright, I'll have a look.
6 and 12 averages to 9.
I don't have a look.
6 and 12 to...
Fine.
Oh, 18.
Ignore me.
Divided by 2 is 9.
I roll a dice for no reason. I rolled a 2.
Oh no. Oh god.
I rolled a 19.
Okay, okay.
That's gonna be max. And it's
So-
the barbarian.
That's 39 divided by 4, right?
Sure.
So we got a little less than 10.
Yeah, you got 10. You rolled a 10. As a group, I'll fuck it. I'll have Enten roll as well because he has smarts.
There's no way this can go right.
Oh shit, he rolled a 21.
Oh.
Hey, maybe that's wrong.
My man! What's that 60? That's it. We averaged 12. We
You
did it,
averaged
guys.
a 12.
He's the best at it.
Okay. All right.
Can we just acknowledge the fact that he is not from around here, but he was the one that was able to do it the best? Can we just acknowledge that?
He knows how to
you
read maps better than
estimate.
all of us, yeah.
I mean, not having any information after Moonhollow, it's hard to guess. If you like were pressed into giving a number, probably no more than a week. There is like a big circle marking where approximately Dow and Gloin might be. That's where they were guessing. That's a big area to go, but looking at the topography, you have a good idea of where it might be. But otherwise, probably no more than a week or so.
So one week to get where?
About a week to get there and back, probably.
To get where and back?
To this, whatever's in the circle, which is probably either Qualish's body, or Dow and Gloin, or whatever else.
I see. Okay.
You estimate, obviously, depending on conditions, you can't really. You didn't roll high enough,
Okay.
unfortunately, to note
Sure.
the weather conditions and patterns and so on. But
Sure. Wait. So, but when we take these maps from an axiom and compare them against like the maps that we were looking at in the bookstore, like how are we still dealing with like large amounts of blank space?
well, so the maps in the place that you were, the little book nook, if you will,
Sure.
the detail is significantly higher up to a point. The Anaxi's maps go farther, a little bit farther, but the maps in Moonhollow are very detailed up until about where you assume the entrance to these mountain passes are. The map in the mountain pass goes a little bit further, but it's not nearly as detailed.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, so what's the plan?
Well, okay,
I guess
so let's
we
get
buy like.
Yes,
I
2
guess we
weeks.
buy like a week's worth of rations for everyone and probably like an extra.
Yeah, we were gonna
5
double it,
days
right,
just
for
to
2
give
weeks.
Just so we have a lot more. So we got A, where we come back, and B, give us some wiggle room.
Cool. All right, so then all we have to decide is, are we bringing the horses, and what are we doing with Cavalli? And then I think we can just head out.
I mean, I would assume we bring the horses, the cart, the whole 9 yards, because, I mean, if this is indeed a city of glass, I would think it's got people.
Sure,
Hopefully.
but what I'm thinking is like traversing the mountains that we don't fully know what we're gonna run into. Like, do we know if the roads are reliable? Are we gonna be scaling cliffs and whatever, right?
You were told that the mountain pass tunnels are very narrow, and that the larger
That's
of you
true.
will have difficulty. So you would reasonably guess horses probably won't fit.
So we're gonna leave all that behind. So I am going to take care of Cavelli. While can everyone else do their shopping? Does that work? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the cat's gonna lose their minds.
I mean, I really don't need anything because no one's selling special swords or anything, I'm assuming.
You can look and find out.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna look. I want to see if I can buy a fancy sword.
Okay. Are you going on your own?
I mean, I'm guessing everyone else is gonna go out to buy their own stuff, so yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
just one person needs to go to the store and say, "Hey, I need like 2 months worth of rations. Put it in the bag." That's how shopping works, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've got all of the mountaineering gear
Or in
pretty
my
much.
case, just I need the sickest looking, just best sword you got.
Okay, so
But yeah,
if you're going off and doing this on your own, it will be investigation with disadvantage because you don't speak the language.
Yep.
But you know, swords are swords. You can probably figure something out.
Dang it. I don't get that 20 I got, but I do get the okay, let's check that with plus my what is my where is it?
Probably under investigation.
Ooh. So I have a 14. Hopefully that does.
14.
Yeah.
You wander around for a bit, and you do find what appears to be a crafter of some kind. You knock on the door and they open and they say words in a language you don't know. But you, doing the best that you can, sort of motion that you don't know what the language is, and you point at your sword and kind of shrug. And they take a second and try and work out what you're saying, and then there's a moment of realization, and they beckon you inside, and when you enter, the place is organized chaos, I suppose would be the best way to describe it. Like, there's stuff everywhere, but you can see it's arranged in very specific ways. You see like jars and stuff all over, but they all have these neat little labels. It's like the first time you buy a label maker and you just want to fucking label everything. That's what this place looks like. You do see on one of the tables, there's like a workbench and stuff where there's like a barrel full of what appear to be plain weapons, but on the workbench itself are there's two. Let's see, there'd be a longsword and a scimitar and a crossbow. They have they longsword and scimitar both have a reddish gem sort of embedded into the pommel, and my mind just flew away from me for a second. The crossbow has you notice the crossbow doesn't have a string, but it is still bent into shape.
I'd like to take a look at this crossbow.
Okay.
Just a bit closer.
Yeah, you step toward the table and he figures out that this is what you're looking for. Let me just hang on. Pull up the actual stat block of the thing. 1 second. References. Items. 1 second. Okay. So you pick it up. Or he picks it up and hands it to you, and the crossbow itself appears to be made out of this like silvered steel material. Like, it is heavy. And he motions to you, and he draws the crossbow back, and you notice a small spark form on the crossbow. And he points at that, and he just like points off in the distance as if it's firing, and then he very carefully releases. He like touches something on the side that dispels the bolt, and he very carefully returns the crossbow to its original position.
Ooh.
You gather this is probably a crossbow that uses lightning damage instead of piercing. But it's hard for you to get specifics because you don't speak the language, so...
I kind of... And what does this scimitar do as well? I wanna like point to that and just sort of like like try and make a motion as if questioning what does this do?
Okay. Yeah, he hang on 1 second if I can there we go. Scimitar. There we go. This one is simple. He takes the scimitar off the table and he mutters a word that you don't quite catch, and it erupts into flame.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
And he takes the longsword and does the same with it.
I want to know how much this sword costs.
He quenches them. Which one? The scimitar
The
or the
longsword.
longsword? The
Longsword.
longsword. That one is going to run you major tier. Let me get the actual price list. Flame tongue. That is. It runs you about 5,000 gold pieces.
The scimitar? Does that run any less?
The scimitar is a little less. It's about 4,600 gold pieces. Magic items are expensive when you have to buy them.
Repeat that gold piece amount.
4,600.
The crossbow. I just want some sort of cool weapon at this point.
Let's see, the crossbow.
None of us have any magic weapons.
I want to be special.
I
want to be special. Okay.
Major tier.
You
rare.
are special. You don't need a magic weapon to be special. Stop relying on external crutches and start being yourself.
But
I get to shock things.
You do already. Nah, it's me.
Oops.
I'm sorry.
I went to the page.
Wait, can I use a crossbow and it count as an attack, my first attack during my rage?
I will have to double check the rules of rage. I don't know that you can use ranged weapons besides like thrown weapons while you're raging, but let me double check that. While I'm looking that up.
Rule of raging. Don't talk about raging.
Just throwing the crossbow.
While the let's see. While raging, you have the flowing benefits. You gain advantage on strength when you make a melee attack. When you make a
Can
melee
he even
attack,
afford the crossbow?
It's 3,500.
I want to know. Aww.
The entire party could not pull together enough money to make that unless we start selling our own magic items.
Well, well.
You can.
No chance in hell.
Right.
For future reference, you can use a ranged attack, but because it doesn't use strength, you don't get that +2 bonus. You don't get that rage damage bonus.
I was asking if I get the my class bonus for rage with it.
Your subclass bonus?
Yes.
You can. You can use your divine strike with it.
Well, I'll need to purchase.
You cut out.
I would have had to purchase that if I had the money. Sadly, I cannot, so I will leave. I'll just be like, I'll just try to find the hey, sorry, and then leave.
Alrighty. You apologize as best you can, and you head out. Magic items are expensive.
Yes, I know. I just wanted to know if I had money.
You do not have the muns. While you guys are going, somebody, I assume, is going to get rations.
Yep, that'll be me.
Okay, how many are you looking to get? There's, let's see.
You're right.
There's
You
6
do
of
need the
you.
number, don't you?
I do.
It was gonna be 14 per person, right? Because we were gonna double the estimated time.
Okay, so that's,
So it'll just be 70, right?
60... We 74.
Yeah.
Sorry, 84. 84.
Yep,
yes,
84.
Because that's how math works.
Wait, there's 6 of us?
there are 6 of you.
Yeah,
Dásos,
6,
Efferil,
4,
Enten, Kledash, Tyorrgeth.
6 times 7. And you times it by 2. Or you can do it the normal way.
Wait. Dásos, Efferil, Kledash, Tyorrgeth, Enten.
Oh, sorry, there's 5. I can do math today. Yeah, 70. So you need 70 rations. The rations are going to run you... normally, they would run you 5 silver pieces, but because you're buying so many of them, you managed to broker a deal for 3 silver pieces instead. So 3 times 70 is 210.
21 gold.
Yeah, 21 gold.
Yep, 21 gold.
Roger
That's
that.
so expensive, Jesus Christ.
And they're also 2 pounds a piece, so...
Can we negotiate a cheaper price?
Are they really 2 pounds each?
According to the
Yeah.
book, yeah. Rations
Food.
for 1 day are 2 pounds each.
Okay, as an Englishman, that really confuses me when people say the word pounds.
Yes,
They're
2
not-
pounds.
We
2
use
pounds
We
sterling.
also use pound.
I don't know how much a stone is, so I can't help you there, but... Alrighty, so do you go ahead and you buy that? Is there anything else you're looking to get while you're preparing?
2 pounds is almost a kilogram.
Yeah, kilogram is 2.14 pounds. 2.16? I forget, it's been a long time since I've done the conversion. You mentioned, I think you were gonna deal with the horses and figure something out with Cavelli?
Oh
Hell yeah.
god, we need to buy some feed for the horses.
I remember you had a
Oh,
lot
Cavelli's
of
taking care of
feed. You had
horses.
like barrels of feed.
Had.
Yeah, we did until they were on the boat. We have 2 days of
Oh,
horse
that's
feed
true.
left. I was keeping track. Yeah. Alright. I go back to Cavelli. How's he doing in the end?
He seems to be doing all right. He's visibly relaxed now that he's been there for a while. He's making his way through the book, and he's struggling a little bit. You know, he's literate, but not much reason for a stable hand to read, so he's not great at it. He seems to be doing okay.
Alright, Cavelli, here's the deal. I just found out that we're heading up into a mountain range through a tunnel that is not large enough for the horses. So, we have
Okay.
2 options for you. And I think you're going with the first one, but I want you to listen real carefully to the second one. First option, you take the horses and you go back to the boat. You hang out with the crew and you take care of the horses there. We'll get some feed here first, let you take care of them. And yeah. Second option, we go talk to a magical researcher about getting you an indentured servitude while I'm in the mountains. You learn a little bit about the drow,
What?
you pick up some languages, maybe a spell or 2, I come back, we get going. How's that sound?
Oh, what?
I bring you to a magical researcher in town. She's a wizard of some sort. I'm not sure. She seems cool. She has a weird eye. And I tell her, hey, this is my most valuable servant. Can you please, let him help you out while we're up in the mountains? And then when we come back from the mountains, we'll collect him. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, Cavelli. This is the chance for you to really spread your wings and fly. Maybe, really learn some new skills. Like right now, you got the horse thing. The horse thing is good. It's cool. It's good to be good with horses. It's good to be good at something. But maybe you can cast a spell or 2.
I'm gonna have to make up a proper stat block for him, aren't I?
Yes.
Yep.
We'll just let Dásos come up with a stat block. I'm sure he'll come up with something fair.
Make a fucking step.
He says, well, I mean, none of these people can talk to me.
That's the beauty of it. She can.
Really?
Yep, she speaks common. Her name's Tannery.
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 And he
Tanari.
draws it out a little bit. He's like Tannery.
Don't worry, she's not going to talk to you much. This place is ruled by women, and she will probably think that you are beneath speaking to most of the time. But
Oh well,
again,
you are really
again,
selling me on this, aren't you?
No, listen to me, huh? You listening?
Are you gonna say?
Listen. It just seems like a good opportunity. I would take it if I were you.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh my god, why?
Because you're trying to convince him to do something he doesn't want to
19!
do.
That's a 19! That's a hot 19. I will die every combat if I can convince Cavelli to pick up some magic levels.
Okay. Well. Here's what happens. He, like, sighs really heavily. And he looks momentarily, he looks like a sad puppy for a second. Like, has no idea what's going on. He says, I mean, do you think I'll be safe?
I think you'll be a lot safer here than you would be on the road.
He kind of glances. Who else is with you, by the way?
Just me.
Just you? Then never mind. He doesn't glance at anybody.
You can glance at the bartender.
Sure. He glances at the bartender. The bartender seems nonplussed.
If you glance at the bartender for too long, the bartender glances back.
Yep. You gotta be careful. Do not become a bartender yourself.
Cavelli, look, this is what you could become. A goddamn bartender. A disgusting... Cavelli, you're better than this! You shout.
You hear him go, you hear the bartender say in common, "Hey!" No, I'm kidding. He says, well, if you think that this is the safest thing for me, then I guess I'll take you up on it. Is this something that she's already agreed to do?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, let's go then, I guess.
Alright, you pack up your stuff. I'm gonna go take care of some unrelated things real quick, and then I'll be back here, okay?
Okay.
Alright, I run to Tannery's place.
Okay. He makes his way back to, no, there is no camp anymore, so no, he stays put. He's already got all his stuff packed up. So you
Get the horses packed up.
So you run to Tannery.
Alright, I yank on the little silvery rope.
Okay. Ding 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 You only have to wait a little bit. It actually, before the bell ringing stops, you see the door voom, disappear, and you see Tannery standing there. She says, "Oh, you're not gone yet." Why are you not gone yet?
I speak Elvish.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna try to be cool here, but what I want to say is, bitch, I told you I was coming back before we left to get a guide to go, so you should not have been assuming that I was gone. The whole idea was that I was going to be coming back, but I don't say any of that. Instead, I say, Tanari, thank you so much for your hospitality. I'm sorry that we kind of got off on the wrong foot.
We did?
We appreciate all the information that you gave us, and we hope that we're going to be able to help you. But I need to make a request of you. My favored manservant, Cavelli, who cares for our horses and for my ship. I'm a captain. If I didn't mention that.
You did not?
He is here with us, and we need somewhere to lodge him while we're up in the mountains. So I was wondering if you would be so kind as to take him in. He can do any kind of work that you need around here. He'll be watching after our horses while we're gone, but he needs somewhere to stay. He does not speak the language. He's a human. and you're the
Oh.
only. Yep. Yes. So I was wondering if you would do me the incredible favor for which I would be in your debt, absolutely, of allowing him to stay with you while we're up there.
So it's weird. Like, you can see her, you can't see anything past her. It's just this void of darkness. And she kind of like glances behind herself, and she looks back to you. You know what I'm gonna ask for, so go ahead.
What?
Persuasion
Wait,
check.
what? Oh! I thought she was saying that.
Oh no!
I was like,
she wasn't saying that in character. Sorry. I need a little sign
Fine.
that says like in character, out of character.
Why you try and use a voice
21,
actor?
21.
I'm calling hacks on your dice.
I lose all the ones that matter.
This is why
I
I roll
know.
publicly.
All right. She kind of crosses her arms and looks up at you. She's she's up at about chest height or so for you. All right, bring him around. Has Selin found you yet?
Don't know who that is, so presumably no.
Ah, well, excellent. She was supposed to be your guide, but I guess she is too busy to do what I ask of her. Where are you staying?
Dranezik's Inn.
Ah.
Dranezik's. Drasnix. Darknax.
Well, I will
You
have
could
her
do.
meet you there then.
Alright. Thank you, thank you, buddy boy. See you around, pal.
As when you
Have
say
a good
pal,
one.
vroom, the door reappears.
Alright. Alright, then I head back to the inn.
All right, you head back to the inn. Is anyone doing anything else? What are you up to?
Just Efferil at this point, right? Because Kledash was getting the rations, Tyorrgeth was doing the weapon shop thing.
To be honest,
I
when
guess so,
you
yeah.
do your roleplay, I completely think I completely zone out of thinking of anything else to do because you just. So yeah, I don't fucking know. I got nothing. Sorry. Just skip to someone else.
Okay.
Hang out with the horses.
Well, you're the last one, but you you hang out with Cavelli for a bit, I guess, in the bar. Sure. Yep, that's what you do. Oh no, I had a post-it note in my player's handbook for so long that the adhesive is stuck to the page. Okay, so yeah, you all sort of recongregate at the inn, and there is about 20-ish minutes or so where you're just sitting around waiting, and then eventually the door opens up and a pretty tall,
Sorry,
What's up?
I do send Cavelli Tannery's way, but I do not accompany him.
Okay, you just send him that way. All right, you direct him
Yes.
down.
Not even gonna see him off. That's cold.
I just don't. Because I told him that she was gonna like teach him stuff, and I forgot to ask her to teach him stuff, so I'm gonna let him work it out. I don't want to be involved.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Oh my
3 weeks
God.
later, when you're like struggling to
Yeah.
get through these mountains, you just get a message because he's learned message. He's, I hate it here. No,
Wait, did you just say 3 weeks?
I am exaggerating. A, I'm exaggerating.
Oh no!
And B,
Oh no! Oh no! Our
Hey,
survival
you're
rolls
bettering
were
a
so
B. I
bad.
haven't rolled my one yet.
no, I just thought it would be funny for you to be like stuck there longer than anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
sure.
The fact that Dásos isn't broken or dead astounds me.
I'll get there.
um,
That's why you gotta have the backup.
so you okay, yeah, you send Cavelli off, and he kind of nervously walks away, and you just close the door. And yeah, that's you'll see him when you see him, I guess. And about 20 minutes later or so, the door opens up. There's a fairly tall and fairly well-built drow woman walks in. You can see she's wearing these pretty fine set of leather armor. She has a sword strapped to her back, like it's a very large, great sword strapped to her back. She scans the room and just immediately fixates on you. And because obviously you're the one she's being sent to guide, she steps up to the table. She says, "Well, you must be Dásos."
Yes. And you must be Tannery's servant, whose name starts with an S.
I am not a servant, far from it. But
You are Tannery's good friend and business partner, whose
I
name
would
begins with an
also
S.
I would also not go that far. I am Selen. I am apparently responsible for bringing you to the mountain. Yes?
Yeah. We need,
Very well.
so if that's what you're here for.
Very well. When will you be departing? She kind of like stumbles on the words. Obviously, she doesn't really speak Elvish that often.
I'm gonna take a quick look around at everybody.
Okay. The five.
Oh, wait, sorry. She's speaking Elvish, so only Efferil can also understand it.
Correct.
I can understand it too.
Kledash, yeah.
Oh, right,
Kledash
yeah, everybody
is,
can
yeah. Kledash is I believe you're fluent enough, right? I forget
Yeah,
what I
I've
told you.
completed 8 weeks or so, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
already
no,
working
you're-
on Dwarvish.
Yeah, you're fluent. Yeah, you're fluent in Elvish. So. Alright.
Well then,
she's
yeah, quick
standing
look
there,
around,
like,
everybody.
looming over you, expectantly.
Is everyone good to go?
I mean, we should be. We've gotten our directions, we've gotten our rations, we've got our stuff. So as long as we all have appropriate climbing gear from the cart, we should be ready to head off.
Cool.
Okay. So she gives you a nod, like a quick jerking sort of like, let's go nod. And turns and walks out the door and kind of like holds it, waiting for you. So
We
I
go
assume
out
you guys
the door.
follow out. Alright. You
Yeah.
guys... Alright, you guys follow her out. She takes you out of Moonhollow. As you go, you notice it. Once you leave the town, you're basically going straight out to the other side from the direction you came in. And as you leave, it very suddenly gets colder. Like noticeably colder. And she, over the next few hours or so, you just notice that the barrier peaks themselves have grown steadily closer, and you take a little bit of time and just check your notes and maps, just making sure you have everything ready. Right where Anaxi's map ends, she directs you and points you upward, and you see a small cleft in the rocks that leads to the opening
on
to this
sign saying,
tunnel.
"This will do wherever the fuck it is we're going."
Yeah, this way to Dalangoin, and like one letter's off, so it looks like this way to Dalangoin.
This way to the big circle on your map.
Yeah.
It's a giant X.
Yeah, you just look up at the mountain, and like you're looking at it in just the right way. You just have this giant X painted on it.
No, she points up at the sky, and there's a yellow arrow which turns as we turn. We say, "Oh, huh."
Huh,
Fall,
they
it goes
didn't-
right along ahead of us.
They really didn't do a good job on those textures, huh? Yeah. So you, she points you up, and she leads you the rest of the way up to the opening, and she kind of peers inside a little bit. She says, "Well, good luck. I hope we see you on the other side. You seem nice enough."
Thank you. I just realized I didn't buy food for my horses, so here, give her a gold coin. Could you take that back to my manservant, Cavelli, who is with Tannery, and
Didn't we
hand that
buy
one off.
food to the horses.
No, we bought. Did we buy food for the horses?
We bought food
You-
for ourselves.
You mentioned you
Yeah, we
were
bought food for
going
ourselves.
As
to...
you were buying food for the horses.
You mentioned
but-
you were... Yeah. You mentioned you
Yeah,
were
I
going
didn't actually
to,
do it though.
And then didn't
Yeah.
actually do it.
I didn't actually do it.
Okay then. Well, then I guess our horses have already starved.
No, I'm told to buy the food for the horses.
They're not
Why?
starved. They're just a little bit hoarse right now.
That doesn't. No. What? No.
The rock face just like starts sliding shut. No. All right, and she takes the gold piece and she looks at it, and you know, because the part of the world you're from is very far away, she kind of looks at it and she's, oh, interesting. She pockets it and heads back down the path toward Moonhollow.
Kledash sort of leans into Dásos. I mean, they have money here. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know about
they
that.
accepted your money just fine because it's silver and gold and copper. It's just like the pattern that they're stamped in, because you're from really far away. It has the Sundi coat of arms, or the Neri
Wait.
would be.
This kind of reminds me of Did anybody play The Witcher 3?
Yes.
I feel like partway through that game, all of a sudden you started getting like alternate currencies and loot, and it was never explained. And then like a bit later, you run into this guy at a bank, and he's like, "I'll buy your alternate currencies from you," and it's like never fully explained. It's just something that just like kind of happened. That's what this was.
I mean,
Nobody-
you just described a lot of The Witcher. Just things that
Yeah.
kind of happen.
Yeah, it's just like, huh?
Particularly Gwent.
Yeah.
I want to play Pokemon
I got deep in some
cards.
discourse yelling at somebody that said The Witcher 3 had bad combat, 'cause that's a lazy critique.
So
Witcher 3 wasn't that interesting to me.
you have
I liked that game.
the cave ahead and Moonhollow behind. The wind is starting to pick up a bit. It's getting pretty bad. You look above and the weather's starting to turn slightly. You've had good luck with weather so far. You're not sure how much longer this will last.
I think the question now is what order we go through in, because we know that the thicker people are going to have a tougher time. So,
Yeah, the
The
tunnel.
thicker people are going
You
to
estimate at least this entrance, from what you can see, is going to be one person wide,
okay.
and it's a bit of a squeeze.
Is
So-
it like fit perfectly for one of us to go through walking straight forward, and we'll slowly kind of crush until we come out the other side?
Yes, this hole was made for you.
This hole was made for me. Perfect. I say this hole was made for me, and I head in.
Okay, so you head in first.
have.
What's the rest of the marching order? Moving on from that weird ass manga.
I'll go. I'll go next.
Okay. Enten
I'll
will go
go.
next then.
Fourth. I was going to say third, but fourth is fine. Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Guess I'll take up the rear.
I'll slide this way so you can actually see the order.
Big guys will squeeze through and I'll just meander on.
Yeah, pretty much.
And laugh.
Your willowy thin body. Yeah. Okay. So, we haven't got a whole lot of time, so we're just probably going to go through the first portion of this, and then I'll hopefully find a cutoff point. You meander through these tunnels. Dásos, you're looking at the tunnel walls, and you notice markings and etchings. And at every time there's a fork, there's these markings that seem to indicate where, directions and so on. However, oh wait, no. You do know Thieves Can't. I lied. Because the markings are in two languages. One is Thieves Can't, the other is a language you don't know. But you recognize the Thieves Can't. And there are some markings that point, some say danger, some say treasure, some say safety. You get to the first sort of branch area that isn't obviously dangerous, and you have one branch, one that goes to the right, that has the Thieves' Cant marking for, like, money, treasure, that type of symbol,
Sure.
and then the other symbol to the right just is more or less. It's the symbol for like not safety, but just like that's just another way that is safe to go.
Sure. So from
As
what I
opposed to, like,
know
sanctuary.
of, yeah, from what I know of Thieves' Cant, not like being able to translate, but like,
Mhm.
would a person put these up and be lying?
Maybe. You've been in situations. It's not incredibly common that someone knows Thieves' Cant and wants to
Like trick other
like
people
trick
who know
other
it.
thieves that know Thieves' Cant.
Yeah.
It's it's sort of like almost a secret society language.
Yeah.
It's happened before. It's not uncommon that people that try to hide their motivations You can make possibly a perception check if you'd like to try and hear or see anything further down the hallway.
Okay. Well, so this is still like one person wide. Like I can't really like gather up to discuss, right?
I mean, you can get close together and like speak to each other.
Sure.
You're not like, you're not arranged like this in the hallway because it's windy. It is relatively straight enough that you could at least get into a group and I have this facing the wrong way. Into a group and discuss things.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna turn around. All right, everyone. These directions are in a language for thieves to communicate with each other. And we have a fork here. It says it indicates some sort of wealth going this way and just kind of generic safety going this way. So I don't have any reason to think that there's any danger in either direction. Neither of them actually indicate that it's the exit. So do you want to go towards treasure or go towards just safe?
I mean, wouldn't it make the most sense to go to the one place that we know we should probably go? I mean, we're here to find a person.
I feel like that doesn't answer the question.
I think that should help you figure out which answer we want.
I mean, neither of them indicate a person or the exit.
Yeah, but one of them says we should go this way because it will help us, or the other one just says money.
Okay. So what? Everybody else, do you want to just head towards the safety?
I would prefer to head toward the safer.
Okay.
Okay. So is that
Cool.
is that
Then
the direction?
sure.
you
Yeah,
think?
we head
I
that
was gonna
way.
say I don't know if you had more discussion to be had. There are more party
No,
members.
I guess not.
Okay.
Feral's quiet.
Yeah,
What
Feral's
would you
really
like
quiet.
that?
It's crazy. So you lead them in the direction that sort of makes their way that way. As you're going, there is one point where the tunnel it narrows to a point where you're having difficulty passing. You can still do it, but you are slowed fairly significantly. So it does take you a little bit longer to get through this portion. While you're in this portion, and Tyorrgeth and Enten are having particular difficulty. They can still do it, but they're definitely the ones that are slowing the group down. There is another fork, and both of them indicate that they are valid directions to go in. They use the same symbol, but you notice the writing in the other language you don't know are different.
At the other language, as we're passing it, like, do I recognize?
Sylvan, right? Or
It is not Sylvan.
oh, okay.
I don't think you've seen this in written form, so you wouldn't recognize it by sight.
I've got Common, Elven, Celestial, and Draconic.
Yeah, it's not one of those languages, unfortunately. I will say this.
Right.
You've heard it before. you've never seen it written.
Oh, okay, I know what it is then, but...
I'm hitting a right. I'm turning right.
Okay, you take a right. You continue along this pathway, and this tunnel opens up and then opens to a small chamber. There's a tunnel that leads out the back of the chamber. Those of you without dark vision are completely blind, so you're more or less following by sight, or following by touch and hearing.
I cast
on that
light
note-
on something.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm gonna take out a torch and cast prestidigitation.
Okay.
I take out a torch and cast light on it.
Okay, you cast light on your torch. You now have a torch, so you
Funny.
can see. It's
Good
10
dog,
of 10.
how do you like torches? I cast torch on your torch. So you can torch whilst torching.
It's 20, 20 and 20, right? I think? Is light?
Yes?
Since I'm behind Efferil, I would like to take my lit torch and stack it on top of his torch.
Okay. You light a torch.
Totally
Describe
lit,
stack,
bro.
or you mean just have it with you as well?
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm trying to be funny. Jeez.
Yeah, it is extra bright. And when you get into the chamber, you see along one side.
Making my torch go further out forward so that we can see further out.
Light is. Oh no, light's not concentration. That's right.
Like just 1 hour duration.
Yep. So you go into this sort of room, this chamber. It's what appears to be a relatively natural formation. And along one side you see like a plank of wood that has Thieves' Cant on it. Dásos, you recognize the Thieves' Cant as saying the words specifically are take or leave, and there's a small chest sitting underneath the plank of wood.
Okay. Let's just keep on going, huh? I'm scared. Do you guys want me to open that? I can check it for traps and stuff.
If that's what you want to do, we'll take a look out, see what if anything springs out at us.
Alright, I'm gonna search it.
Alrighty, make an investigation check.
22, I think. Let me check.
Good lord.
24. Expertise.
Alrighty, 24. You get close to it, and you notice something's a bit off about the ground around it. You stop
The
and
ground
take
is
a
a mimic.
second. You stop and take a second and look, and you notice there's dirt that would sort of be piled against it, seems to be stuck to it. And you peer a little bit more closely at it, and something is there isn't a lock on it. There's sort of like this, almost like a string on it, but something looks off about the string, and you look a little bit closer, and you realize the string isn't a string, it's just like one solid piece of material. And something about it is just setting you off. It's giving you bad vibes.
Bad vibes. So given that all I'm getting is bad vibes, does that mean it's not something I can deactivate?
Do you get closer and physically search it?
Given my, I mean, I don't get close enough to trip anything. I don't know.
Right. Keeping
that
your
means.
distance, you don't notice any physical traps or anything magical attached to it, if you will. But the more you look at it, the more like small details look off. Like you notice the wood grain on all the panels of wood are the same wood grain.
I think this might be an illusion, guys. I'm not sure because I don't know any magic. Does anyone have the ability to discern this?
I could light the lantern of revealing.
I'll give it a shot.
I mean, I could try something. Let me see what we can do from here. Is there anything you specifically want to take a look at, or?
The whole thing looks off. Come here. Look,
I mean,
look at it from
what
my
specific? Yeah, I'm gonna. Kledash is gonna walk up next to Dásos.
All right, you're
Yep,
about.
point.
I mean, the chamber's pretty small, but you're about 5 feet away-ish or so.
Alright, so Kledash is gonna go up next to Dásos and say, alright, so what specifically do you want to check first?
So everything about this just looks off. The longer you look at it, the more off it looks. Like you see, like it's this dirt should be it's piled up, and there's this weird. It looks like a string, but it's a knot, and then all the wood is too similar.
Okay.
Does he see what I'm saying when he looks at it?
Yeah, no, he sees the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
As you point out these small details, you are able to see what she's talking about.
Kledash is gonna turn around. Hey, you guys, ready up. Just sort of to get probably a spell ready, just in case. Kledash is going to cast Mage Hand.
Okay.
And he's going to attempt to pluck the string.
Okay.
Or at least, like, yeah. Pluck the string. Let's do it.
See something specific about Mage Hand. Special floating hand. Okay. Okay. You reach out with your mage hand, and it touches the string, and it seems to adhere almost for a moment, like it sticks to it, and you pull back, and the mage hand does detach eventually, but the material itself doesn't seem affected by your attempts to manipulate it.
Oh man, that ain't right.
Some kind of spider web, maybe?
It doesn't look like a spider web to me.
Do spiderwebs normally grab magic?
I'm gonna slash it.
You're gonna slash it
Yeah, I'm gonna slash it
with your scimitar?
with a dagger.
With a dagger? Okay. You step up to it. What are you're just attacking the box itself, or like the string?
No, the string.
Okay, you go up to sort of cut the string. Your dagger sticks to it, and one side of the chest bulges out and slams toward you.
Hey, good luck, idiot. I
And
dodge.
I don't want to get into a combat right now because we have 10 minutes to go.
No combat in 10 minutes. We can defeat this mimic in 10
All right,
We can
all
be
right.
in there in 10 minutes.
On that note, why don't I have everyone roll initiative, please?
Ooh, that's a 14. This is where the 8s come in hot, guys. I burned all the 16s on the persuasion checks.
Let me hang on. I'll ask for it from you guys in order. So give me one quick second. Ugh. Alrighty. Is this one? Ugh. Alrighty. Dásos, you said it was a 14? Right? Hello?
Dásos?
I said 14. Can you,
14.
can you hear me?
I think your mic
Yeah.
didn't like activate.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Efferil?
17.
17. Enten. Oh, I need to roll for Enten. Shit. Give me 1 second to pull up Enten's character sheet again. While I'm
I rolled a
doing
d30
that,
for him. Oh god damn it. I rolled a d30 and I rolled a 4 on it.
you roll the d30.
Yes, I have a d30.
Let's see. Monday, Enten. Oh, that's not bad. He has a 16. Okay. Kledash?
Oh, a 5.
5. Okay.
Ooh.
Tyorrgeth?
Where does mimic?
And
Oh.
then I got a 22.
22. Alright. I'm gonna draw out the battle map in a second.
Oh, did you roll a natural 20?
Yeah, I have a +2.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the room's not incredibly large, but it's like, you see the tunnel's super narrow. It's large enough to fit all of you, but it's not super, super, super big. This direction down here is where you came from. So assuming you stayed in that sort of marching order per se, I assume you'd probably roughly be in this order, and then Kledash, you had stepped up to use your mage hand on it.
Yep.
It's gonna be blue, because I feel like it. I'm gonna move this map closer so you can actually see what's going on. That's actually as close as I can get without knocking the tripod over. Sorry. Okay, so, because it caught you unawares, you are all surprised this round, and it gets its attack out on Dásos first.
Rude.
Does it
Yeah.
surprise us? Because I did sort of warn the party.
Yeah, we were all.
to get
yeah.
ready.
I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty confident this was a mimic, but I guess
Yeah.
I didn't say it out loud. Fair enough.
Oh, you did.
I mean, you did, but did your
so-
character think that?
so
I mean, we
he-
knew some. I don't know. It doesn't
He
matter.
told you to ready something, but you didn't actually say that you had readied something.
Attacked it first. How am I not in combat?
You are in combat.
Yeah.
It's currently charging towards you as its attack.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're right next to it, and it's just hitting you with a pseudopod.
Good luck, idiot.
It also rolled pretty well on its initiative, so probably not. 16?
Yeah, that hits.
Actually, 16 does hit. Okay. That is going to be d8 plus 3. It's been a while since I've used mimics. That is 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oof.
And you... If I could have you... you become grappled by it, so you are grappled right now. You can use an action on your turn to try and escape it.
I am going to use Uncanny Dodge to halve that damage.
Okay, so you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
That is its turn. Going down the list of everybody, comes back around to the top of the initiative order, Tyorrgeth. You are first up in
Alright.
the initiative order.
Uh,
How big
I
is
have
this thing?
enough room
It's
to.
medium.
Do I have enough room to just like walk up to it?
Yeah, you're here, so
See
you
the
can
map.
go 5-10 feet, and you're next to it.
Well then, I'm. This time, since my character wouldn't actually be angry, I'm just gonna stab the thing with my short sword.
Okay, go ahead and attack it with your short sword.
I wouldn't be angry. You just saw it.
Well,
grapple your
actually,
friend.
yeah, fair enough. It would be pretty. I would be pretty angry. So yeah,
Alrighty.
rage.
You take a bonus
Uh,
action to
strength.
rage.
So, boop, I believe I add. Actually, I only add strength to it. I don't think I get. Wait, I get proficiency with
Strength
it
and
since it's my.
proficiency. There should be a section on your
short sword, right?
character sheet for your attacks.
All right. So. 24.
Pretty sure 24 will hit. Yeah, 24 will hit.
And then that's 2d6 because of one of them being
You're
my
using
necrotic
your-
damage.
Using your divine retribution or your divine fury.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so 7 piercing
7 points of piercing damage.
plus 3 necrotic.
Alright, so 10 points total. Okay, it takes that damage. Oh yeah, as of the end of its previous turn, it is no longer adhesive. You are still grappled, Dásos, but it's not adhesive anymore. So you don't have disadvantage when trying to break on it anymore. Okay. Anything else this turn? Actually,
nope.
bonus action. Okay.
Actually, wait, I do get. Oh wait, I get extra attack. So yes, there is.
Oh yeah, you have extra attack now, so you can get attack again.
Hey, I know it's hard to like roleplay an NPC without much of an intelligence modifier, but how does the mimic feel about getting completely fucked by action economy?
Oh, it's mad. It is so mad.
I would be.
In like
legendary distances are for.
in the slow motion, like between heartbeats moment, you just see its little beady eyes just raging.
Just mad.
It's just so mad.
I take a second to say, hey, looks like you're mad, 'cause bad.
God damn it.
I got 12. Does that hit?
12 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
8 damage.
8 points of slashing. Gotta do math. Okay. And that's the end of your turn. It comes to the mimic's turn.
No, it's my turn.
The mimic rolled a 20 on its initiative.
Oh!
It has a +1
Alright.
to Dex and rolled a 19.
Well, screw you, Mimic.
It is going to.
I'm keeping that roll, though.
It is going to make a bite attack against you, Dásos. With advantage because it has you grappled currently. That's just its ability. Nope. That's a 7 and a 10. So no.
Not
Despite
today.
having you like in its grasp, you managed to like just squirm out of the way of its bite, which is weird
Tricky.
because like the mouth forms, chomps at you, and then disappears again. Now it's Efferil's turn.
Okay, Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
And I'm keeping the rolls I rolled because I'm doing 2 Eldritch Blasts against it because it's double hit because of the thing. And I rolled a Yeet and a 20.
Okay, so that's 2
220s.
natural 20s. Okay.
Yes.
I just avoid rolling before I ask you to roll. But I'll
Yeah,
let you keep those.
I know. I genuinely, you didn't tell me when it was going, so I assumed it was my turn next.
Okay, so go ahead and roll damage for both of those.
D10. Where's my D10s? That is. I can add charisma mod.
Do you have the
I hope
agonizing
so.
blast?
Yeah, there we go. Agonizing blast. There we go. My charisma is 3, so that is.
So that'd be
9.
4d10 plus 3. Good lord.
Oh god, yeah, it's 4d10. It's 4d10 plus 6. It's technically different attacks.
Oh yeah, because it's 2 separate attacks. Yeah, 4d10 plus 6.
Okay, so that is plus 8 because I get plus 1 to all my attacks because of a rod. So that
because
is
of the one
9,
impact.
5, 4, 4, plus 6, plus 2. I can't be bothered to do the math on it. That's a lot of damage.
So you said 9, 5, 4, 4,
4, 4, 6, 2.
and 17, 23, 25 points of damage.
Something like that.
You're like ultra charged Eldritch Blast, like blow chunks off of this creature. You see bits of its amorphous form just slam and like dissolve into the wall. It's not pleasant, but you're hurting it. Anything else this turn?
Nah, I don't think I need to do anything else.
Alrighty. Let me get Enten's character sheet back up, because it is Enten's turn. And he... let's see.
He casts a fireball.
Yeah, I didn't ask how big the room was, I said I cast Fireball. No, what he is actually going to do is he is going to step into Kledash's space and across to the other side to make an attack with advantage against the creature with his... How's this thing called? Sunforger? With his Sunforger.
I think that's what it's called.
It is. So he gets a plus 6, good lord. Yeah, that's a 17, which definitely hits. 1d8 plus 3. Sorry, 1d10 plus 3, because he's wielding it in 2 hands. So 12 points of bludgeoning damage. Man, this thing is on its last legs. And he does not have extra attack, so that is his turn. Next up
Told you.
is Dásos.
Alright, so when I'm being grappled, I have to do my action to escape before I can attack with like my scimitar, right?
No, you can do other things. You don't have to actually escape the grapple to attack.
Oh, then I'm
As a specific feature of this creature, because you're grappled by the adhesive trait, attacks do have disadvantage.
Wait, I thought the adhesive...
So the adhesive stuck to you, and then other things don't stick afterward. It's the first thing it does after coming out of the object form is adhesive, and then everything after that's not adhesive anymore. But the adhesive is stuck to you, and it's stuck to you, and it wrapped around you. So, but you can attack. You just have to.
I think I misunderstood something you said during Tyorrgeth's turn. I thought you said that Tyorrgeth's attack made the adhesive wear off on me.
No, it's just the first thing had adhesive, and then when he attacked, he wasn't subjected to his weapon sticking to
I see. Okay, got it.
That's because otherwise he would have had to make a strength check to get it back.
Cool. So, but me attacking it right now, no penalties or anything, right? Like I can just take a slash at it.
Because of this specific trait, you take them at disadvantage, but you're not allowed to.
Okay.
Normally, no, you're not.
Or I can use an action to try to get out and then attack, right?
Well, you only have one action.
Then yeah, I'm just gonna attack at disadvantage.
Okay.
15, 21, or 26. Okay.
Yeah, those both hit.
21. Cool.
Yeah, whichever one is the lower still hits. So.
All right, let's check really quick if the stupid swashbuckler stuff will still give me a sneak attack even in this exact circumstance, which I believe the answer is finally no, because I think if I had disadvantage, I don't get sneak attack.
Yeah, if you're at disadvantage, you don't get sneak attack.
We're double checking now.
Because the first thing is you get it if you don't have disadvantage.
Uh-huh. Mastermind swashbuckler. Fancy footwork, nope. Rakish Audacity.
Because Rakish Audacity is the big one.
Use it. It's use your sneak attack against a creature if you're within 5 feet. Yeah, okay, yes, so exactly. Disadvantage
you don't
means
have disadvantage,
okay.
yeah.
Yep, exactly. Cool. Okay, so I only do 1d6 plus 3. This is the... I can't remember the last time I attacked and didn't get... This might be the first time I've ever attacked and not gotten sneak attack.
Fucking swashbucklers. They're so busted.
Yeah. Well, so I do 4 damage.
Okay. It had 1 hit point left. You slash at the creature, and the first thing you feel is its grip releases, and then the whole form just melts onto the floor in front of you. You do see, as you're like wiping yourself off of this.
Wait. Can I have a line while I wipe myself off?
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna say, hey guys, I disarmed that trap. That's it. That's all I got.
That's your line?
That's my line.
Okay.
I think it's time we end the session.
Yeah. We'll end on disarming the trap. So, all right, our next Monday game is going to be on October 5th. I do have a Thursday game that's running as well. It's going to be running on October 1st, next Thursday. They're running in the same universe, just a different campaign plot.
Aren't they doing cults or something? Like the most I know. Aren't they doing something about a cult? All I really know at this point.
Yeah, they're doing cult stuff. They're killing
Whether they are the cult or they're killing the cult, I don't know.
You don't know. You'll have to watch and find out.
I'm not going to, because I don't want to spoil any plot.
On that note, thank you guys so much for coming and watching, and thank you guys so much for coming and playing this evening. Have a good night.